coat inside her home.
It's harder at night, but like I said, I'm making it do what it needs to be done for me to stay warm.
CBS's Katie Weiss reports from Oxford, Mississippi.
FEMA is sending 11 truckloads full of supplies, and they're deploying a 90-person chainsaw team. So many fallen trees across the state. Here right now, I'm on the Ole Miss campus in Oxford, Mississippi, and it's just downed trees everywhere.
FBI agents in Georgia have executed a search warrant at the Fulton County Main Election Office just south of Atlanta. A source tells CBS News the investigation is in connection with the 2020 election. Democratic State Senator Josh McLaurin.
Here we are. It's January 2026, and now Donald Trump is dispatching FBI officials from Maine FBI, I guess in D.C., to try to disrupt county election administration here in Georgia.
The center stores election equipment and serves as office space for multiple Fulton County agencies. Senators are on Capitol Hill trying to avoid another government shutdown. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns also on the Hill.
Both sides are talking. There are bipartisan groups talking about this measure. But where it stands right now, Democrats are saying that they will not support this funding package unless it includes serious reforms to DHS.
The deadline to pass the spending bill is Friday. Secretary of State Marco Rubio testifies before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee about the path forward in Venezuela. CBS's Michael Wallace reports.
Rubio said President Trump tried repeatedly to get President Nicolas Maduro to step down before okaying his capture earlier this month.
You couldn't make a deal with this guy.
Structure up to speed.
That's the end state that we want. Free, fair, prosperous, and friendly Venezuela. We're not going to get there in 3 weeks. It's going to take some time.
Delaware Democratic Senator Chris Coons said the administration should have consulted with Congress before going into Venezuela. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
CBS's Stacey Lynn with a recall of a popular baby snack.
Gerber is recalling some of its arrowroot biscuits after tiny pieces of plastic or paper were found in the snacks. The company says the problem came from a supplier and no other Gerber products are affected. While no injuries have been reported, it says it is taking action out of an abundance of caution. If you have the biscuits, don't feed them to your child. Return them to the store for a full refund.
Samsung Electronics posts a record fourth quarter profit on AI demand. This is CBS News.
Take control of your financial life. Follow and listen to Money Watch with Jill Schlesinger on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, mass layoffs hit Amazon again. We get to that after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. It's taking you a half hour to drive northbound through downtown Seattle right now with a hefty backup approaching the West Seattle Bridge, I-90. You'll catch a little break before entering our Revive I-5 backup at Mercer across the Ship Canal Bridge. And now westbound 520, you're packed at Montlake Boulevard due to Revive I-5. Now, once you clear the Ship Canal Bridge, it's just 30 minutes into Everett. Bellevue to Everett, 45 minutes. You're slow through Kirkland. You'll start to thin out through Totem Lake. South 5 into Seattle looking good. There is a hefty backup that starts near 520 down to I-90. So Linwood to Seattle still less than 20 minutes. North 405 in the south end is slow from South Center up to the VMAC. Just heavy volume here. South Center to Bellevue is at 25 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, southbound on 167. We're already at 50 minutes, mostly due to a bumper-to-bumper backup between State Route 18 into Puyallup. And we do have a wind advisory that was just issued over the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. The emails came early this morning for Amazon employees.
I saw an email this morning, but I don't really know much about the details.
Company notifying its workforce 16,000 roles are being slashed starting today. CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger says that's on top of the 14,000 job cuts announced last October.
What we know about Amazon is they hired like crazy during the pandemic. And since then, they have been paring a lot of those hires back and diverting their attention to AI and the real future as they see it.
Today's news coming days after the company said it was shutting down Amazon Fresh and Amazon Go stores nationwide. We learned today that here in Washington, that translates to more than 400 local layoffs at 11 locations across Seattle, Bellevue, Mill Creek, and Puyallup. Major warning is coming from Washington's law enforcement ahead of the World Cup this summer. Brayla McGinnis is with the King County Prosecutor's Office of Human Trafficking.
Pimps and traffickers will bring their girls to Washington State because buyers are not held accountable.
She says in Washington, buyers are facing few penalties.
To buy the body of another human being, it is merely a simple misdemeanor.
Right now, her office is asking lawmakers to change that to a felony charge and increased fines. If it passes, the new laws will be in place by the first World Cup match.
That's KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reporting. The voice of the Mariners spoke with reporters today as Rick Rizzs prepares for his final season behind the mic.
This has been truly a joy. Lou Gehrig said it best, I'm the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Well, you're looking at a guy who's now 72 years old that has been fortunate enough to live his dream. And I hope everybody in this room is living their dream.
He's called M's games for more than 40 years now. Now to your weather updates, looking at cloudy skies and rain this afternoon and tonight. Showers for tomorrow and showers continuing off and on through the weekends. Right now, 50 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show. Listener introduction line.
Feedback.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Get the pen.
Lemon soup. It's not your typical egg drop soup. It starts with your typical mirepoix, right? Your onions, your carrot, your celery, garlic, of course. You get your stock going.
Yep.
You want to make sure you temper the eggs, though, your Wilcox Family Farm eggs. So you put the eggs in a bowl with the lemon. You stir them up real nice. Once the broth is up to temperature, start scooping some of that broth into the egg mixture because you don't want the eggs to boil.
No.
You just want them to come to temperature so it makes the soup real creamy.
Okay, that's going to make the soup creamy, but how about the show? Does it improve the show in any way?
Absolutely.
Bravo, lemon soup.
Aha!
Classic.
Classic.
Yes.
Here's the problem with the show. First of all, my voice sounds like a cartoon character. Here's the other problem. When I meet people and they go, what do you do? I have a radio show. Oh, and I listen to it, and I always hesitate to tell them to listen. And then they're going to be like, what is that? Like, the show starts out with Aaron doing a recipe. They don't get the nuance, the subtlety. It's lost.
The art.
The what?
They don't understand the art.
Pablo Picasso was asked, what is art? You know what he said? No. What isn't? Thank you, Pablo. It's reading the story of his life. Oof, what an interesting guy. Look out, ladies.
Do you know who Ken Kesey is?
Yes.
Wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. One of the famous acid test guys. He used to hang out at the Blue Moon in the University District. Still there. One of the I think it's the oldest.
Just better get around to Pablo Picasso.
Yes. So he and Allen Ginsberg used to sit in the bar drunk and call Pablo Picasso in France just to mess with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. This is another example of why I can't tell anybody listening to the show because what the hell are we talking about? There we go.
The rest of the story.
Thank you. I believe that we can win. I believe this is all the news. This is it. I mean, if you want to do a radio show, you just fax this to you. And if you have a fax machine, you should probably be doing radio. Oh, my God. All right, this is it. Here we go. All of it. A storm is coming. How do I know? I checked Zillow. Plus day in history. We'll try to knock 3 of them out. One of my favorite artists, Jackson Pollock. Anybody can do that. They did a test with 4th graders and adults, and 4th graders are more likely to paint like Jackson Pollock. There's a great story about he and his wife showing up to one of the unveiling of one of his art. He never used to show up at any of these things, but he was there for one particular reason only. By the way, the FBI had a big file on him because they thought somehow his paintings were secret messages about communism.
Subliminal communist propaganda.
All that. Plus, here's one for you folks who text in on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 1-888-973-5476. Stars gather for We Are the World. One of them walked out. Who was it? Right before, when they were recording, and he's like, and he just left. Who was that? 1-888-973-5476. Let's see. Andrea Suarez comes by to talk about the PIT, the point in time. This is where they're trying to count up how many people are homeless. Andrea Suarez says, University of Washington came up with this new technique. It involves $25 gift cards. Plus, we'll talk about the layoffs. It's, by the way, I like this spin on KIRO 7 says, the fact that layoffs in Amazon, it's good news for home buyers. Looking on the bright side. Melania, the movie, have you seen anything about it? I haven't even bothered reading that story, so we probably won't get to it.
I'll play the trailer for you.
Well, are people all upset about it?
No, it hadn't even come out yet.
Oh, well, it doesn't stop anybody from being upset about it.
Fair.
Plus, playoffs. We got to win a game. Hey, they're calling for an audit. Wouldn't that be a good idea? It's like, you leave the fence open and the horse or the cow or they all run away. And it's like, hey, we should probably check on the fence. Yes. Maybe that'd be a good idea. Let's see. King County Parks. Where'd the millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars go? And who's calling for the audit?
Donald
Reagan. And then there's another audit that's also, I think, Claudia Balducci saying,
yes.
Hey, how about maybe we should audit some of this other stuff as well?
DCYF.
Yes. Plus, the most unexpected tech choice I've ever made. Where's that one from, Joe? What is that about? Oh, the declining. Okay. And then also, this always gets brought up Will you stop? I'm in the middle of a show.
Who is it?
I don't know. Hang on.
Put him on speaker.
Hello. All right. Screw you. All right. The last part. They always say, our kids getting dumber than they were, 10 years ago, 20, 30, 40 years ago. And it depends on what the study is and what you look at. But new research comes out that, yes, cognitive ability has declined and problem solving has declined. So here we go. The next generation. What year? How old are these people?
Gen Z. So I guess they're, 20s, early 20s.
None of them are listening to the show, so we'll be all right.
Good.
We'll be insulting that entire generation just a little bit from now. All right. Make sure I get this in the right order. Hang on a second. Hang on. Okay. I was thinking we used to drive down Sefton Road when we were kids, and we used to look for the cows. The cows were in this big field, and we would wait to see, and we'd be driving back home again to see if they were laying down. Now, cows will lay down between 10 and 14 hours a day, but when a storm is coming, and the storm is coming, the barometer changes, and it affects their joints. And it makes cows uncomfortable, so that's why they lay down just before a storm. Well, the storm is coming, and what the cow will do normally, turn their back to the wind. They will cluster together, or they'll try to find some sort of shelter. That's what a cow does. And if it starts to rain, and if it gets hotter, the milk production drops anywhere between 10 and 30%, so they produce less milk because of storms. Well, the storm is coming, and the sacrificial cows, the rich, that is, they are showing early signs of turning their back towards the wind and leaving. I checked Zillow on the advice of a friend of mine. He said, just check Zillow and see what it looks like when it comes to big homes that are in Medina, Bellevue, Seattle. There's been a 50% increase in the homes that are now on the market. Well, there's one for you right there. Pick that little beauty up for $12 million, or that one for $7.9 million. Again, a 50% increase in the mega mansions, the giant homes, the $30 million homes. They're on the market. And why? Because the wealthy know that they need to fly away. This is advice that I received from a respected estate planner. And here's what he's telling his high net worth people. He says, cut all ties. Leave nothing behind. No home, no cabin, no car, no toys. Quit the country club. Leave local boards. Drop out of your churches. Leave the Rotary. Leave the synagogues. Leave nothing behind. Leave nothing, no breadcrumbs for the Department of Revenue to try to find out where you are living next. Cut all ties to the state of Washington. And that will also include donations to local charities. Stop funding the arts, stop funding medical research, stop funding anything that is a nonprofit in the state of Washington. Now, I can tell you as an auctioneer that has been doing this since 2009, I know that the rich spend millions, if not billions and billions of dollars. They buy items that none of us could possibly buy because the rich can get anything they want. But can you imagine flying in a private jet, flying to London and meeting the director of Hamilton, and then meeting with a choreographer on Tuesday, being fitted for a costume on Wednesday, doing a rehearsal with the cast of Hamilton on Thursday, and then being in the show when the curtain goes up in London on Saturday. I sold that 8 years ago for $565,000. Now, for you and me and just about anybody else, that seems like a lot of money, but not to the super rich. The nonprofit benefits from it, but of course the rich get a chance to talk about the fact that, oh, did you see Hamilton? Person says, yes, I did. Oh, when did you see it? I saw it on a Saturday in London. Oh, really? I was in it. So it's that kind of bragging rights that go along with it. Now, speaking of nonprofits, I remember one time being at an event just for the auction. It was raining outside. And everyone there was very upset because apparently there's an older lady, we'll call her Miss Betty, didn't like to drive in the rain. But without Miss Betty being there, they were concerned they would lose about 40% of the amount of money that they were hoping to gain. So somebody, I guess an intern or a volunteer, jumped in the car and drove to Miss Betty's house and picked her up and drove her to the auction because she was like an ATM machine rolling on in there and they needed to get the money. There are 47,200 nonprofits in the state of Washington. 73% of them are reporting insufficient funds, meaning they have just enough operating costs to last them anywhere between 1 and 6 months on hand. So what will they do? Well, the problem is that the people that you're taxing, the people that give money to these nonprofits are leaving. Studies that say, well, people don't leave when you raise taxes, that's flawed. And I'll explain why it's flawed. Because the study doesn't look at income. It just simply looks at everybody. Well, if you look at everybody, you're like, well, people don't leave when taxes go up. No, but if you broke it down and looked purely just at income levels, it would tell you a completely different story because that study lumps all taxpayers in together. But the rich know that the storm is coming. The house is on the market, the business license transfers, the kids not being enrolled in the private schools in 2026. So what happens when the storm comes? Well, it's going to get upgraded for the rest of us up to a level 3 hurricane, and nonprofits will be washed away. Because who will care for the woman who's recently been diagnosed with cancer that doesn't have the strength or the stomach to take the bus? Who will drive her to her chemotherapy? Who will help set the leg of the eagle that was injured when it was hit by a car? What child's dreams will come true when they can't dance in the ballet or they don't learn to play the French horn? None of those dreams come true because the rich will leave, the nonprofits will suffer, and so will the rest of us. When capital gains went from 7% to 9.9%, the super rich in Washington, you say, well, that's only 0.5% of the population. Sure. And when voters had a chance in 2024 to stop the storm, they voted for an increase in capital gains tax. And the dark clouds started forming. The rich, like the cows, felt the storm. There will be another chance to part the clouds, probably this year. And as your black pen hovers over that little bubble as to what you intend to do, you should keep a few things in mind. You should keep in mind who will take care of the stray dog, who will cook the pot of soup for the hungry, who will possibly teach the fourth grader to read. How will you learn to play the oboe? On YouTube? The old truism about there's only two things in life that are certain, death and taxes. I will edit that for the sake of this. There are two things that are certain. Death equals taxes. Taxes equal death for the arts, for the charities, and for the local economy. The good news, and there is good news in this, that $75 million house that you see that's got 7 bedrooms and 12 baths, it has an unobstructed view of the water and the sky. So you'll certainly see the clouds coming into view. the rain, the thunder, and the storms that will get all of us wet, and some will drown. And there you go. There you go. Questions, comments, concerns?
Wow.
Huh? You heard me on the phone.
I did. Yeah, that was a very long conversation.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It didn't
6 CEOs, I won't name any of them, are already gone. Big ones. And they're not just leaving, they're taking their businesses with them. So when we played that cut from, I forget who it was, that representative or senator, wherever in Olympia, that, they don't leave, they won't leave. They're going. They're already going. Go look on Zillow. You pick up a house. I mean, the fact that we're going to do the story a little later on from KIRO 7, that Amazon layoffs are good news for home buyers.
Those homes ain't cheap.
No, but the thing is, like, in what direction are we heading? And we'd be like, well, you're rich, you're just saying that. I'm just telling you. I've seen it. You get 500 people a room at an auction. You know how many people bid when there's 500 people?
5.
There's about 8.
Yeah.
If you have 200, how many people bid?
Ooh, what was the first?
8. It's always 8.
Really?
It's always 8. Yeah. It's always. The rich are the ones that give the money. The liberals are the ones that complain about the rich, but they don't give the money at these things. It's the rich guy, the rich gal that gives the money. There's a small group of people in Washington, in Seattle and Bellevue that basically fund the arts. You look at their names, they're on the side of the buildings and stuff. Are they still going to be around? Again, you just simply can't expect the golden goose to sit there. They won't. They got wings. They're going to fly. They're going to go away. So, but here we are. We're going to okay, we can get somebody like the mayor come back on again, Katie Wilson, and explain that they're going to raise more taxes on everybody. Out they go. Out they go. Huh?
What was you said there would be an opportunity on the ballot?
They think they're going to. I think they're going to put that tax on the ballot or as a referendum.
The millionaire tax.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I bet that thing goes through. Now, I think 10 times they've done income tax in the state of Washington, and 10 times people have rejected it because that's an income tax. But then all of a sudden let's go. Yeah, get the rich guy. Screw that guy. They'll be like, yeah, screw that guy.
I think if everybody voted, I don't think it would pass. But if the typical very small turnout of people that vote.
No, but if you put it on their millionaire tax, you're like, well, I'm not a millionaire. Tax that guy. And the guy I was talking to, the 3 phone calls I did before he came on, he said, listen, the rich people I know, they're like, look, I'm fine. If you want to tax everybody, I'll do that everybody. But if you single us out, we're gone. So that's what happened. But by the way, my phone doesn't work unless I have it on speaker, so Joe gets to listen to all the calls.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like it doesn't. Little button's not working.
I just assumed you were very.
I'd like to share.
Yeah, you like to share with everybody.
I like to broadcast the whole thing. Broadcasting Nate doing traffic, Nathan.
Northbound I-5, scattered backups through downtown, approaching the West Seattle Bridge, across the Ship Canal Bridge. Nothing new because of Revive I-5. We're getting used to this. Taking about a half hour to make your way through downtown Seattle. South 5 looks really good, especially for this time of day. You've got about a 4-mile backup between 520 and I-90. Seattle to Federal Way, 45 minutes. It is solid from the Duwamish Curve all the way to South 260th, heading into Federal Way. Bellevue to Renton is at a half hour. You're slow at 520 all the way to the Renton Landing. Extra heavy from Southeast 8th and Bellevue through Factoria. North 405 is slow from South Center past the Renton Landing. South Center to Bellevue will take you 25 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is at 50 minutes. We're pretty steady from north to south with that backup. And on the water, the Port Townsend Coopville ferry route, they're going to cancel a couple sailings coming up due to low tides. In fact, just around the corner, the 3:30 departure from Port Townsend is one of them. The other is the 4:15 out of Coopville. Your alternate routes include the Edmonds Kingston and the Mukilteo Clinton. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
The Tacoma Home and Garden Show, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, January 29th through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discount tickets, go to tacomahomeandgardenshow.com.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, a well-insulated attic can be your home's secret weapon.
Upgrading attic insulation is a cost-effective way to make your home more energy efficient. It also helps keep your home warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Better insulation equals better air quality, less moisture, and no mold, improving the air quality you and your family breathe. Call now for $300 off attic ceiling and ventilation, and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Lionel Richie. And Earth, Wind and Fire. The tour continues. Seattle, you're invited to sing a song all night long. Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind and Fire. Together in one magical night you don't want to miss. Climate Pledge Arena, August 3rd. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So there are some folks who probably think that they are in the clear because they haven't been hounded by IRS agents for the last few weeks. But that is a false sense of comfort.
It's a false sense of comfort. And I understand why people feel that way, Jason, because with the IRS shut down, all the revenue agents, the auditors, the revenue officers, the tax collectors, they weren't in their office. And the IRS stopped sending out notices because they knew that, people just couldn't respond to them because there weren't a lot of IRS personnel around. And so you get comfortable, you get complacent. But I tell you, folks, really, if you got an IRS issue, it's better to take care of it now than later. It really is.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
that's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchie's Worry-Free Warranty.
Wrenchie's what?
Worry-Free Warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchie's
Worry-Free Warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchie's Worry-Free Warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchie.
Apollo Plumbing.com.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
After replacing more than 100,000 failing lenses, we have the experience to tell you if it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation with us about K2 Vision RLE to get your eyes seeing young again. Permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
DUI? Felony charge? Trust Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-OA. Over 30 years serving the Pacific Northwest and hundreds of 5-star reviews. Every mistake has a solution at 1-800-DUI-OA.
1-800-DUI-OA.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Amazon announces today it's cutting 16,000 roles. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey spoke with employees in Seattle who fear more layoffs could be coming.
Outside the Amazon spheres in downtown Seattle, one employee told me the fear and anxiety inside the company are real.
No job is safe. So even let's say you become a mathematician, scientist. I work in AI. I'm not safe.
Amazon has cut nearly 30,000 jobs since October. In a mass email to employees, the company said the moves are meant to reduce bureaucracy and that it does not anticipate further layoffs. The workers I spoke with tell me they no longer feel safe.
We don't know yet how many Washington workers will be laid off, but GeekWire's Todd Bishop expects that number to be in the thousands.
It's just a very difficult market right now. These have an impact, and they impact the tax base. They impact, businesses and spending capacity.
Cuts come as Amazon says artificial intelligence is reshaping the company long term and reducing the demand for certain roles. For the first time this flu season, a child has died from influenza here in Washington. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi reports it happened in Snohomish County.
Health officials say it was a teenager who got sick last week. So far, 10 deaths have been reported in Snohomish County this flu season, and more than 220 people have been hospitalized. Statewide, there have been 59 confirmed flu-related deaths. Snohomish County Health Officer Dr. James Lewis says it's not too late to get your flu shot. The season typically runs from October through April, usually peaks right about now. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Bloodworks Northwest issues a code red alert for blood donations.
Bloodworks says it has only a 1 to 2 day supply of blood, and a healthy supply is 5 to 7 days. The problem is winter storms moving across much of the country. People there can't get out to donate blood, so Bloodworks is sending blood to places like Texas to help out. Juan Cotto is with Bloodworks Northwest.
We will need several thousand donors over the next week to restore a stable, acceptable blood supply.
Call Bloodworks Northwest or find them online if you'd like to donate. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Combs.
Thanks, Aaron. Heading through Seattle, North 5, you're dealing with scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge, where Revive I-5 blocks your 2 left lanes. It's going to take you right around a half hour to make your way through downtown Seattle. South 5 starts slowing at Lake City Way. Gets pretty packed at 520 down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, still less than 20 minutes, though. Our lake bridges are looking good. In fact, westbound 90 is clear. Westbound 520 jams up at the Arboretum over to I-5. Seattle to Everett, plan on 50 minutes once you clear the Ship Canal Bridge. Pretty solid backup now between Shoreline and Linwood. Bellevue to Everett's at 55 minutes. It's solid between 520 and 522. It's really packed through Kirkland, and you'll jam up again at the Alderwood interchange. Seattle to Federal Ways up at 45 minutes. North 405 in the south end is slow from South Center to the Renton Landing. South Center to Bellevue is a 25-minute drive. And Renton to Puyallup is 50 minutes along the Valley Freeway. Pretty steady from north to south and heaviest south of State Route 18. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to your forecasts. The dry streak has ended officially. We are cloudy today, rain off and on through the rest of the week. Right now, 50 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Criticizes my hair and my clothes. Joe.
Really?
He's like, he's like, what's with the turtleneck? So then you got your neck fixed.
You paid a lot of money for that.
I didn't know it was going to be cold. Sometimes it's like a meat locker in here.
True, that's kind of warm.
I didn't know. I'm going to have to strip out of this thing. Day in history. Yeah, let's see.
Oh, wait.
What's wrong?
Home comfort.
Oh, my gosh. Speaking of comfort, heating and cooling, plumbing and electric, that's homecomfortalliance.com. They should come in here and fix the little heater system we've got.
Yes.
System. What am I talking about? Some things somebody bought at Costco. Thank you, Home Comfort Alliance. All right. Day in history. Here we go. 1912, Jackson Pollock is born in Wyoming. People criticize his work. Oh, anybody can do that. Jackson Pollock's famous for all the drips and drabs and stuff all over the paintings. He died in a car accident. I think he was like 54 years old. We'll get to more on him in a little bit. 1917, the Bath riots. 1973, the Vietnam ceasefire goes into effect. That didn't last very long. 1985. All the stars gather to We Are the World. Have you watched a documentary on that thing?
I have not seen the documentary.
It's really crazy. So they said, when can we get them all to be in one place? Oh, I know. They're all going to be there for the Grammy Awards. So right after the Grammy Awards, and they wouldn't tell anybody where the studio was. They said, don't tell anybody. We don't want anybody to show up. So then they had all these limousines. They had limousines going one direction, other direction, stuff to throw everybody off. And they all ended up. And I've watched a documentary. They were there till like 4 a.m. I'm like, there's no way they weren't doing coke. Like, okay, you get up all day, you go to the Grammy Awards, you sit those things, and now you're in some hot studio.
Did anybody deny they were doing
I didn't. Never showed any of that sort of stuff. And then the space shuttle, the Challenger, exploded right after liftoff, 1986. It was the O-rings, right? And wasn't the engineer told him, hey, guys, it's too cold. Those O-rings are going to be contracted, and they're not going to get the same sort of flexibility needed?
Yep. If they'd have launched any of the previous launch days, which were a couple of days prior or a week prior, it would have been fine. It was just the temperatures that particular day were too bad. And yeah, he banged on his desk, just begged him to not do it. He told his wife, this thing is going to explode. That's exactly
but there were so many delays, right? Yep. And there was so much pressure. They had to go.
They had to go. The teacher who was on board was supposed to teach a class while she was up in space. Reagan had a big State of the Union that was supposed to coincide with the launch, so there was a lot riding on it.
Yeah, and then Peggy Noonan, who was a young speechwriter there in the White House, I think she was the youngest, was then tapped to write the speech that President Reagan, gave that evening. And she took part of a famous poem that she knew Reagan liked, and she included it into the speech. And earlier, when people were looking over, because she was the youngest of the speechwriters, Peggy Noonan, you could see her columns there at the Wall Street Journal, they said, we're going to cut that line. And she goes, no, I think it's a good line. I think he's going to like that. I think he's going to like that line. It's too artsy, or whatever the criticism was. And she says, I think the president will like it. So she said, just take it to him. So
the crew of the Space Shuttle Challenger honored us for the manner in which they lived their lives.
The last line.
We will never forget them, nor the last time we saw them this morning, as they prepared for their journey and waved goodbye and slipped the surly bonds of earth to touch the face of God. Thank you.
That was it. And they were like, we'll just cut that, we'll come up with a different line. She said, no, I think the president's going to like it. And he read through it. He says, yep, that's what we're going with right there. We Are the World. Man, when I was a kid, or when I used to watch MTV, and we were like, oh, it's on. It was 1985. I was coming home, and my dad sitting there, and my dad always like, who's that? Is that Madonna? I'm like, no, Dad, it's not Madonna. Every black guy was Michael Jackson. Every female singer was Madonna. We Are the World. We are a part of. Yeah. You guys name the artists as they're coming by. You ready?
There's 45 of them.
I know, but Nate and Andrew and you all get a chance to play. Here we go. You ready?
All right, let's go.
Whenever you can. Here we go.
Dionne Warwick.
Correct.
Ray Charles.
Lionel Richie.
Both. Correct.
Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Or Michael.
It was supposed to be Prince.
That's right. He didn't want to show up. Diane Ross. Okay, Nate, go crazy on these. More Dionne Warwick.
Yep.
So they know that someone cares.
Yep. I like how she used to count out the beats with her.
Willie Nelson.
Willie's in there. More Willie.
Oh, Willie.
Turning stone to bread. And so we all must lend a helping hand.
What's his name? Jeez.
You see the guy with the big birthmark on his head?
No.
Gorbachev?
No.
Hold on.
Stronger and free.
Al Jarreau.
That was Al Jarreau?
Yes.
Well, here's Willie. All right.
And so we all must lend a helping hand.
It is Al Jarreau.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, we know who that is.
is, baby.
We are the children.
Yeah, tax cheat.
We are the ones that make a brighter day. So let's start giving.
Who's that, Nate?
I don't know. Oh, that wasn't Tina Turner, was it?
Yep.
Steve Perry.
Yes. Don't forget, I think Hall & Oates are in there somewhere.
Michael Jackson, the Prince. Huey Lewis.
Whoa! Oh my God, Nate.
Cyndi Lauper.
Wow.
A quick several moment. If you were there, would you go with the one ear on the headset or both?
You got to go one.
Would you go one or both?
I go both. I like to hear stereo.
Here we go.
Everybody.
Who's the guy with the mole on his head?
That was
mole on his head.
No, and he had the big. He's a big black, like, looked like a giant penny up on his.
Yeah, Aaron Neville.
Michael Jackson was still writing the song at 11:30.
Oh, we know who that is. Yeah, Bobby.
Hey, you and me.
Who was the woman that used to play? She was playing drums and stuff with Prince.
Sheila E.
They invited her, and then they were going to give her a solo because they thought she would bring Prince with her, and he didn't show up. So she shows up and like, "Where's Prince?" She's like, "He didn't come." She's, okay, Sheila E. Right, you're in the back, and they basically just kicked her off the back. Who was the guy left early? Just quit.
Waylon.
That's right. Why?
I don't know.
You don't know why?
No.
Because they were going to bring in some African lyrics that he didn't like.
Yeah, and Michael Jackson, Swahili, I think was the language.
Yes.
And somebody goes, Michael, it's not even anywhere near where the starving's happening. They're not that. And that Mark Whalen's like, I'm out of here. I'm getting out. He just left. I'm singing African songs. Off he went. Oh boy, that was exhausting.
Yeah, it was.
That was good.
We didn't get to half of it.
And well, Nate did a great job.
He did.
Thank you.
Now he's back checking traffic. Guys doing it all.
Yes, sir. Westbound 98 I-5. We've got a disabled bus. It is blocking most of that on-ramp to southbound I-5, but you're able to just barely squeeze by, and traffic is really starting to stack up now. North 5 through Seattle, scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal, where it's taking about 35 minutes right now through downtown. South 5 slows at Lake City Way, gets pretty heavy at 520 down to I-90. Still about 20 minutes, though, from Linwood. Not too bad. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both right around 55-minute drives. Seattle to Federal Way will take you 45 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, another area that's looking really good this afternoon at just 40 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
KIRO News Radio congratulates Rick Rids.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
The modern-day Bambino, Cal Raleigh.
We can't wait. From KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Ugh. Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show.
The Big Seattle Boat Show starts this Friday. It's the best time to buy with big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle. Make it a date Friday evenings with Boat Show After Dark, featuring unforgettable ambiance, music, food, beer, and wine. Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
Did you know 25% of your home's heat loss is through your attic? Jake Skorheim here. When hot air rises, if your attic isn't properly insulated, that hot air is going to go right through your ceiling and out your old roof. That sounds cold and expensive. So if your furnace is working overtime, it's time to call Valentine. And right now, Valentine has a great winter special. Bundle attic insulation with any new roof, and you'll save an additional 10% off your entire project. Just call 206 Roofing, and remember, when you see the red Valentine vans, you know your home is in good hands.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got 3 options. Number 1, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about. But if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/plan for 20% off.
trustandwill.com/PLAN.
With Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, maintenance is the key to a long-lasting roof. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? Call us today. Our first-time customers can save $99. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com. All right, coming up, Andrea Suarez, is she, we halfway through her text message she sent us?
I'm still working on it.
Andrea, those of you watching on YouTube, hi, how are you? Good to see you. Nice to see you out there. Yes, we can see you. You can see us. I was insistent. Wow. Put some pants
Look
on.
at you, Mr. Muscles. Took the sweater off.
Well, because Joe made fun of it, and then also it is hot in here.
I like your turtlenecks. I just thought you'd be showing off.
I had a bunch of shirts that Joe's like, never wear those shirts again on the air.
That's
so then you called my wife, and then she collected them all together, and I brought him in here.
Yes, those are not allowed.
Why? Because they're plaid? You guys don't like plaid?
No, they're just awful.
So okay.
I bought them online on Amazon, and they're like cowboy shirts for like $12.
They're like bad cowboy shirts.
Well, whatever. All right. Let's see. President Trump accounting for kids, with the $1,000. There are a few tax complications, but overall, hey.
To celebrate a thrilling new milestone for America, the first generation of Trump account children. Trump account children. For the first time ever, we're going to give every newborn American child a financial stake in the future, head start at life, and a fair shot at the American dream, something people don't talk about so much. Every president in modern history has left our children with nothing but debt. But under this administration, we're going to leave every child with real assets and a shot at...
There'll still be debt. It's going to be about $42 trillion. But, hey, get a little something coming your way.
Financial freedom will ensure that Americans don't just end their lives with a nest egg, but instead all Americans will begin their lives with a beautiful nest egg. There's never been anything quite like this. I want to express my tremendous gratitude to a very special couple who believed so strongly in this vision right from the beginning that they personally donated $6.25 billion. That's $6,250,000,000. Even the 250 is a lot of money when you think.
Sort of read from there.
That's very confusing. How much?
I don't know how to get all of it. All right, that and then the other thing that's sort of kicking around. So part of it, the other thing that was in the big beautiful bill was the idea that you could give $1,700. It's a direct tax deduction. So you take your $1,700 and you can give it to a scholarship granting organization. I think there's 21 states that have opted in on this. Governor Ferguson was asked whether or not he's going to be involved in it or not. He says he's still thinking about it. But they don't want, the teachers union doesn't like it because they think somehow it's going to drain money from the public schools. It doesn't. You can't give it directly to the public school. You give it to an organization that would then give it to the school for like tutoring, special activities, maybe arts, dancing, something like that, music. So the question is, does the governor want to allow the state of Washington to also allow Washington residents to take the $1,700 deduction off their taxes? And the teachers union is all upset. Unions have called the tax credit effectively a voucher system, arguing it would drain resources from public schools and benefit wealthier families more than broader student population. They warn it would encourage private school enrollment at the expense of public school. Don't forget, everybody, your kids belong to the public school teachers, not you. They don't want you. Oh, man. I told you about that. She's apparently a president of the WEA or something. She yelled at me at this bar in Ocean Shores.
But she didn't know you were famous.
Fame is relative. But I got her phone number.
Oh, good. taking her to pizza?
No, I thought I'd get her on the radio sometime. All right. We'll load her up with a bunch of Tito's.
So
first.
she approaches you, disliking you, and
she didn't like because I had a suit on,
and you leave with her phone number. That's weird.
That's the magic. Yeah, here comes Nick telling you with traffic.
Westbound 90 at I-5, a disabled bus is blocking most of that ramp to South 5. I say most because you're just barely able to squeeze by there on the left side. North 5 through Seattle, scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. 35 minutes to make it through this. Seattle to Everett, plan on 50 minutes once you clear the Ship Canal Bridge. Pretty solid between Shoreline and Linwood. Bellevue to Everett just crossed 1 hour, an hour 5 minutes. It is solid now from Kirkland all the way to Alderwood. In Bellevue, we've got a new collision. North 405 at Southeast 8th, blocking your left lane. Seattle to Federal Ways at 40 minutes. Pretty thick now from Interurban Avenue to 516. Both directions of I-5 are slow between State Route 18 and the Fife Curve down at the county line. Eastbound 512 slows from I-5 over to Portland Avenue. Westbound 512 is heavy through the South Hill Curve, but just briefly. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
Seems the state doesn't have any issues declaring an emergency when a truck takes out a bridge, but when it's their fault, that's maybe not an emergency. Small towns on the northwest corner of Mount Rainier are finding this out the hard way with their bridge out of commission. This is Sully. I'll have Choke Points tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
The Tacoma Home and Garden Show, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, January 29th through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discount tickets, go to tacomahomeandgardenshow.com.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The FBI executes a search warrant at the Fulton County, Georgia election hub that a county spokesperson says is connected to the 2020 election. Democratic State Senator Josh McLaurin.
This is extremely alarming. I think Fulton County and Georgia in general are tired of being the target of Donald Trump's narcissism. That's all this is about, and he is dispatching federal officials at the highest levels of government to try to vindicate his agenda. Local FBI office, as far as I'm aware, is not involved.
CBS News has learned of a development regarding the officers involved in the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy. And this comes as CBS's Ian Lee says Operation Metro Surge is still in full effect in Minneapolis, with new arrests happening every day.
CBS News has learned the federal agents involved in Saturday's deadly shooting of Alex Preddy have been placed on administrative leave. President Trump's border czar Tom Homan is in Minneapolis leading the ongoing immigration operation.
I don't care who you are, get back in your vehicle.
Wednesday, federal agents threatened to arrest an Associated Press cameraman as he was documenting an operation.
Meantime, a federal judge in Minnesota has blocked the Trump administration from arresting or detaining refugees living in Minnesota while they await a ruling on resident status. Senators are on Capitol Hill trying to avoid another government shutdown, but Democrats are threatening to block more funding for Homeland Security because of the two deadly shootings by immigration agents in Minnesota. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer.
Republicans must work with Democrats to find legislative solutions to restore order and public safety. Congress has the authority and the moral obligation to act. What's missing is Republican will to act.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
In my view, at least, and I think the view of all of us, we ought to pass the package on the floor, fully fund the government, and move on to other things that the American people expect us to work on.
The deadline to pass the spending bill is Friday. The Federal Reserve holds its key interest rate steady at about 3.6%. Chairman Jerome Powell.
Having lowered our policy rate by 75 basis points over the course of our previous 3 meetings, we see the current stance of monetary policy as appropriate to promote progress toward both our maximum employment and 2% inflation goals.
Just under 340,000 customers from Texas to Kentucky are still without power after the latest winter storm. CBS's Katie Weiss is at the Ole Miss campus in Mississippi.
Even though there was some sunshine yesterday, the ice is still very thick. Now, this morning, we counted dozens of students and members of the Oxford community that were still sleeping in the student union to stay warm because they're still without power.
This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to the official 48 Hours After Show post-mortem on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Banning masks for law enforcement. We have a key update on that measure coming up after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. This one brought to us by the Tacoma Home and Garden Show. Westbound 90 at your South 5 on-ramp. Our disabled bus has been moved over to the Gore Point, opening the ramp so that those backups will start to thin out now. North 5 in Seattle, a different story. It's now pretty solid approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. 35 to 40 minutes to make your way through downtown Seattle. Seattle to Everett is at 50 minutes. Bellevue to to Everett is up to an hour, 5 minutes. We've got a new crash in Bellevue. North 405 at Southeast 8th. It's blocking your left general purpose lane, and that's got you backed up bumper to I-90. And really from there, it's a solid drive all the way into Alderwood. Bellevue to Renton going the other way is just a half hour. Seattle to Federal Way, 40 minutes. It is heavy from Interurban Avenue down to State Route 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, plan on 50 minutes. The Tacoma Home and Garden Show presented by Puyallup Chocolates, January 29th through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discount tickets, go to TacomaHomeandGardenShow.com. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A bill that would limit when police officers can cover their faces while interacting with the public just passed the Washington State Senate.
The bill requires law enforcement officers to be clearly identifiable and generally prohibits them from wearing opaque facial coverings while on duty. Democrat Yasmin Trudeau voted yes.
In America and in Washington State, we will not accept secret police.
Republican Phil Fortunato voted no. He says ICE agents and their families have been threatened.
That's why they're wearing masks. They're not wearing masks because they're secret police.
Senate Bill 5855 passed by a vote of 30-19. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
It now moves to the House. We have an exclusive look now at what lawmakers want to see in a potential millionaire's tax. KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger obtained a draft bill, calls for a 9.9% tax on income over $1 million starting in 2029.
The House and Senate Democrats go, yep, that is the actual draft that we are circulating around. Be careful. There might be a lot of edits, a lot of changes, but yes, they in fact confirmed it.
The bill would also override a voter-approved measure that bans state and local income taxes. Read all about it at mynorthwest.com. Outside the Amazon spheres in Seattle today.
I think it really sucks.
Uncertainty as employees enter the company's headquarters. They learned today that Amazon is cutting 16,000 roles across the globe. CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
While Amazon's workforce is still vast, this is really about shifting a direction and trying to make as much money for your shareholders as possible by putting your energy, your resources, your people into AI, where Amazon believes the future lies.
The voice of the Mariners offers a tearful farewell ahead of his final season in the broadcast booth. Rick Riz, speaking to reporters today, says it's been an incredible ride.
You know, you get to a certain point where you're not that little kid, you know, watching the games on TV.
51 years he has spent calling professional baseball, 40 of them here in Seattle. Now to your weather updates. We are looking at cloudy skies, rain this for the rest of tonight, and then off and on showers for tomorrow. Right now, 49 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Yes, let's find out.
Only one thing counts in this life. Get them to sign on the line which is dotted.
That's right. That's it. The only thing that counts. That's a good lead into Andrea Suarez and what she's noticing from We Heart Seattle. Hang on a second. Dive in a minute. All right, Suarez and We Heart. Oh, there you are. You're in your car.
Yes, I am out in the field. Thank you.
That's where you spend most of your days, doing what you can for the homeless. So this is the PIT. You sent it to me saying, hey, the PIT, I've got concerns. And I was like, what is PIT? And PIT stands for point in time, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So the federal government, if we still obey their rules and regulations, I don't know if we do, they want a count done. Every state has to do a count. Every city has to do a count of the homeless. And I looked up the numbers. So in 2015, there were 10,000 that were counted. And then I think we declared an emergency. And then we were able, because it was an emergency, we were able to get it up to 16,868. So that's good, I guess. If you want more homeless, we were able to create more homeless. in that amount of time. I think the 2022 or 2021 count didn't count because of the lockdown. So how's it changing? What's going on? Why are you upset, Andrea Suarez?
Well, hello. Yep, we are participating in the point in time count, which traditionally was a one-night event where volunteers would go out and blanket the communities and count bodies in doorsteps, in RVs, cars, languishing on sidewalks, laying your eyeballs on human beings. Now we've adopted a peer-based seed method that taps into social networks for homeless to turn themselves in over a 2-week period and say, hey, I'm homeless. I'll take a $25 debit card and go tell 3 of my friends to come turn themselves in. I get $5 more for each person that comes in and turns themselves in as homeless. They are not required to provide a social security number or ID. So it is subject to some integrity issues. So that's one point for sure.
So let's say some unscrupulous individual goes in, they get their gift card, right? And can they come back in later on? Get another gift card?
There's intake hubs throughout the county. So let's say there's 12 and there's a couple downtown. I mean, I don't think that's an element that's going to be widely abused. Probably more the issue is that person who's supposedly homeless in a doorstep in a tent is going to actually make it all the way back to their homeless camp peer group and hand them this barcoded piece of paper somehow on the way to probably needing to trade their gift card in for drug money. I mean, that's the reality of the population that certainly I'm working with. So it does concern me that we're relying on people to turn themselves in that are homeless. The methodology has some benefits in that it allows the surveyors to ask why you're homeless, what are the barriers, are you from here, what do you look for in a shelter, those kinds of things, which are important to bettering the system.
Right. I remember there was a similar survey that was done a number of years ago. And, it's all based upon, the person being honest. And a lot of times what I had read from the Discovery Institute, the way the questions were asked and the way they were answered, I think the person being asked the question was concerned, if I say that I came here from, X, name the state, then I won't get what I'm, quote unquote, entitled to get. So they tended to sort of, shade their answers a little bit. So then the data gets junky and funky. So in this case, you're right. I mean, it's interesting. They call you, the University of Washington, the people who came up with this, they call you, say, Andrea, you actually have real life experience. Do you think that somebody who's just trying to survive their next high, do you believe they will get up out of that tent, go to one of these organizations, wherever these places are, and come in there and do that, and then come back and then give it to 5 of their friends, and then their friends will then be motivated to get up out of that tent and go there to get their $25 gift card? I mean, did they say to you, does that seem like something these people would do?
It really boggles my mind. I would say no. This is not a better methodology. Go back to the point in time. We participated in as surveyors, and we are doing that today. We literally watch people walk out the front door and give their seed paperwork to anybody that they would run into to go say, hey, go turn yourself in. I'll get $5 more on my debit card. You'll get 25, rinse, repeat, go tell 3 more friends. And you're not really going back to the place where they're homeless. What they're trying to do is use the peer system to say, oh, I have 100 friends that live in the jungle or up in this park or these woods. And that's just not accurate. Maybe for counting, this method might work for other things that you're trying to collect data on. But this crisis population that are by and large addicted to drugs and mentally unwell is really relying on something that's a critical data point. It's also fraught in that you could move the data in every direction you want. Is it 1.5 people per tent or 1.75 people per tent? And you can dial that in either direction. Are you trying to say homelessness is up or down, right? So how do we want to look as a county to the federal administration right now? And again, with data coming, especially something out of a university, I do think that it works backwards to fit the narrative that you want. One of the questions that's asked is, where did you sleep last night? Which determines if you're from here or not. That's not realistic. And I know for my own work, and also any police officer will tell you that way more than 50% of the people coming in droves to Seattle are coming here for services, for a no rules playground. And why homelessness keeps going up is because we keep creating space and beds and shelters and tiny houses for them to come and live.
Yeah, I think the Discovery Institute, I'm trying to remember their number. It was high, much higher than what the city was admitting to or King County was admitting to. I think they said something like 70% or something that were not, born here, lived here. They had come from some other place. You see it as well, just in Seattle. They're coming from Burien and Auburn too, right?
Everett is huge right now. Any of these counties, are in cities that are kind of like eating our lunch saying, go to Seattle. You have a new city attorney that's not going to prosecute on consumption. The open air drug scenes are just horrific across multiple parks right now. My volunteer found a deceased body in Magnolia on Monday in a tent, on the shores of Elliott Bay. I mean, we're not going to count him. We are not intervening and removing encampments in a humane way. And it's very sad and grim out there on many levels. But the inflow crisis is very concerning for me. And the more we build, the more will come. Supply creates demand, and Seattle is certainly a sanctuary city. And we're going to be funding that bill for a tri-county, if not statewide, homeless crisis response.
Just to go back to point in time count, does it also screw things up when you change the methodology? Because then how do you compare it to the year before? You'd have to have an asterisk next to it saying, well, that was a 1 night. This is a 2 week. We changed how we get the numbers. So we're not able to stay consistent as to whether or not is this program or all of these programs and all this money, is it working to reduce the number of homeless?
I mean, what I would do is, that's a fair point. And keep in mind, people in tiny house villages, shelters, RVs, cars, utilizing the system are counted as well. So you're counting these people that are already in the system as homeless. So believe it or not, all the shelters, the tiny houses, and the hotels we buy, we're still counting those people as homeless. And then you have the people that are under the bridges in the parks. And honestly, you could get that number from how many people are booked through jail that identify as homeless, because those are the people committing a lot of the crimes to survive. So I believe in life in general, unless you've seen it for your own eyes, question everything, especially this day and age with a lot of misinformation. We need to go back to a 1 or 2 or 3 day point in time where we see for our own eyeballs who's out there in the tents, in the slopes, under bridges, in parks. That's how you get an accurate count of people not utilizing services, shelters, tiny houses, and hotels.
Excuse my naivete, but what I've noticed is a lot of homeless people have phones, cell phones. And in the state of Washington, we pay an additional tax. If you look on your tax bill from your cell phone, that's included in there is to provide phones for people. Could they not do a reverse track on just checking cell phones? Would that be another way of looking at it? Because obviously you know who has the phone. You know that it creates a digital roadmap of where the people are. Wouldn't that be another way of tracking people down?
That, and of course, food stamp cards. I mean, just food stamp cards, done. That's not done. A lot of people have food stamp cards that have apartments in our house and have jobs. So let me walk that one back. But cell phones, a combination of cell phones, food stamp cards, utilizing services, checking in at Reach, picking up your methamphetamine bubble and foil, these kinds of things. Unfortunately, all of those services that are handed out, they don't take the time then and there to require your name, where you're staying. We should have a year-round, 24/7, 365 grasp on who's homeless in our county. Probably a lot more accurate.
What are you seeing when it comes to the new administration and the sweeps?
They are actually all over town. There was a Ballard holdup earlier in Wilson's administration, but I have driven all over the city actually in the last few days, and there are signs up all over Soto, Capitol Hill, Denny Park, Fremont. There are sweeps in progress practically daily from what I'm seeing on the calendar. So they're very quiet.
Yeah.
And the hypocritical element of this, John, is that the protesters won't protest Katie Wilson, but they sure were after Bruce Harrell when he was doing his sweeps.
So they still are happening.
They are.
And you notice anything different? Do they go out there at a different time? Is the same sort of setup?
It's the same setup. They're out there. I mean, I've seen them out in, again, all of the areas I've talked about. They may have already been scheduled like in December. These things don't just happen overnight. You know, the government works a little slow. So I'm not quite through the woods on what's happening here, but these might have been, like I said, scheduled booking subcontractors. One of the subcontractors told me today they cleaned this area off in Nickerson. It's a total crime scene, stolen bikes, horrific scene, needles, evidence of prostitution, children's toys. It was very disturbing, actually. And the subcontractor said, we just cleaned it for somebody else to move into. So not exactly a very rewarding job when you know it's going to just be repopulated. So Mayor Wilson really needs to have a plan about deterring the repopulation of these shared spaces. I'm going to be curious to see what happens in February and March.
Do they still do this where they would collect everything that was there, then they take it, they don't throw it out, they bag it, label it, store it? Are they still doing all that?
By and large, I haven't seen a lot of storage. I mean, we go out there and try to mitigate, you know, the harm, mutual aid's out there. By the time the signs are posted, people are already skedaddling, grabbing their stuff, moving to the next block. The storage thing is a little bit stale. I mean, by now, what is it? Maybe a bag or two of clothing. People aren't lugging around their, you know, family heirlooms here.
Right.
I think the storage thing was just so kind of weaponized politically. Like, well, what about their stuff? Well, it's a bunch of stolen, diggled garbage, rotting, stolen copper wire. I mean, if you actually go out and look inside these tents on what is going on, it is not a cozy little encampment. It's a drug scene, a crime scene, a prostitution scene. It's disgusting and grim.
You, for people that don't know We Heart Seattle, you're out there, you go up to people that are in these tents laying there on the sidewalk, and you offer them drug addiction counseling, you offer them help. So let's just say of 100 people that you contact, how many people take you up at We Heart Seattle, Andrea?
I'd say we're in the 10 to 15%. Lots of trust with the trash. We just offer a different we mean business flavor. We're not with the government. Unfortunately, though, we have to face the fact that unless it's court ordered, we probably have what we call a sticking point of about half of those people actually complete a 28-day program. It's why I'm not out there trying to raise millions of dollars unless we have a real policy change. All we're out there doing with We Heart Seattle is disrupting, countering the narrative that this is an affordability crisis and doubling down that this is nothing short of a drug epidemic, taking the lives of our loved ones and ravishing our communities.
But there's no money there. There is money if you talk about affordable housing. Then you can get developers and nonprofit organizations to sweep in there and really enjoy the generosity of the taxpayer. So what's your plan for 2026?
2026, we're going to keep pushing trash and treatment, trust, and telling the truth. And this is an advocacy effort as much as it is getting, you know, the environment clean and helping people along the way. We have 3 case managers, including myself, and we'll help those that want to be helped and helped easily. And continuing the advocacy with videos, content, media, writing op-eds, and just really telling our boots on the ground experience is wildly different than what the academics are saying. I'm very, very happy that legislators are calling me from both sides of the aisle, asking me about what to do about children in tents subjected to fentanyl, how we're applying Ricky's Law to detain people against their will. I am very proud that because of the support over the last 5 years that we are subject matter experts, and we're going to use that to help move the needle to a more safe and beautiful Seattle for all to enjoy.
That's probably the best way to end this brief conversation. Andrea, from We Heart Seattle. Hey, I lost my hat that I had in Roanoke, the free hat.
What?
I know.
Oh, my gosh.
I had it, and then I put it down on the table, and somebody else took it.
Oh, now somebody took it?
That's a sign of flattery if somebody steals your things and your art or your hat. It's a game-worn hat. That was John Curley's hat.
That's right.
But I kind of want that cowboy hat. Next time we're doing a hat trade.
Okay. All right. hat trade for you. It's got a little blue spray paint in it. All right, Andrea, thanks a lot. Get back to work.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Yes, I will.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
There she goes. There comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
This one's brought to us by the KIRO Newsradio App. North 5 in Seattle. It is solid approaching the West Seattle Bridge. Across the Ship Canal Bridge, where 2 left lanes are blocked for Revive I-5. 40 minutes to make it through this. Seattle to Everett, plan on 55 minutes once you clear the Ship Canal Bridge. Pretty solid between Shoreline and Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, an hour and 10 now. We've cleared that earlier accident, North 405 at Southeast 8th, but it's solid from Bellevue all the way to Alderwood. South 5, you're going to slow Lake City Way to I-90. It gets packed at 520. Linwood to Seattle, still looking pretty good at 20 minutes. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, it's a half hour on 520. You'll jam up at the west end of the lake over to I-5. 20 minutes on I-90, where it's a little crowded from the Mercer Tunnel over to I-5. Seattle to Federal Way, we're pushing 40 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, 45. And we have a wind advisory this afternoon over the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, if you have got a bad hip, like I had, past tense, shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, if you ever said to somebody, hey, I think I got bone on bone, I got some real problems, some real arthritis, and you're possibly facing the surgeon's knife, and I'm sure that surgeon is a fine surgeon, before you do that, because it always doesn't have the best results for you. I talked to an individual that was facing shoulder surgery. He's like a world champion ping pong player. He's like 72 years old. And he said he did the research, and he found out when he said to his doctor, what are the chances of me having a really good response to this? He says, well, 15%. 15%? You want to have better odds? Why not go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine? Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, has done more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, and all you have to do is make an appointment, go in there, you send your x-rays and MRIs in there, and he'll take a look, and he'll tell you if this is going to be great for you. Do it. I'm telling you right now, it's worked for me. It could work for you as well. A shoulder, an elbow, a wrist, ankle, knee, whatever it is. Check out drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
We are going to the Super Bowl. It's time to eat, boys. Super Bowl, here we come. Can you believe it?
We're just a really good football team that's tough and connected.
Welcome to the dark side.
Power of 12 is 1 is real.
Whole city going up like it's our time.
All the 12s across the country and all the 12s across the globe.
You know how we do it. The only place to hear Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO News Radio.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. So glad, so thankful that Molly and I made the call. Had heard so many First Mark Challenge victories, we needed to take that challenge. What does happen from your perspective when that caller, when that email, when that person reaches out to you for a First Mark Challenge victory?
That's a great question. So there's several steps we go through in the process. The first step is we're going to gather information. Find out all we can about that client and what their needs are. The next step is we will go out to the market. We have dozens and dozens of carriers that will compete for the business. At the end of that process, we will then bring those findings back to the customer, show them what we found, and who the eventual winner was in that competition.
And it may be who they're with.
It might be, yes. And sometimes that's the best we can do is recommend they stay where they are, but maybe modify a few coverages to put them in a better position.
So go take that challenge today. Go be the next First Mark Challenge victory. It costs you nothing, and they will be there with you every step of the way. FirstMarkInsurance.com. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Amazon is moving ahead with its largest ever round of layoffs, cutting 16,000 roles starting today.
That's a lot of roles, but I mean, that keeps on changing, and I guess that's way above my pay grade.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey speaks with some employees who fear more layoffs are coming.
This employee told me outside the Amazon spheres in Seattle, the message is clear.
No job is safe.
After 14,000 layoffs in October and another 16,000 this month, despite the company saying it does not expect more, he tells me many coworkers fear additional cuts. And they're starting side projects outside Amazon just in case.
Start something small. Don't depend on anybody, I think.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery reports another big Seattle company is also cutting jobs.
Travel company Expedia Group is making another round of cuts, this time hitting its technology staff. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports it could affect 10% of that team. Seattle-based employees shared news of the layoffs on LinkedIn. A spokesperson said the company is reorganizing and reducing layers to speed up decision-making. The company went through 2 rounds of layoffs last year. They have more than 3,000 Seattle-based employees.
A teenager in Snohomish County has died from the flu. This is the state's first influenza-related death involving a child this year. Dr. James Lewis is with the Snohomish County Health Department and tells KIRO 7 TV it is not too late to get your flu shots.
Not only will it reduce your risk of being significantly ill from the flu, but it can also reduce your chance of spreading that to someone else.
It is not clear yet if that teen had any underlying symptoms. Statewide, the number of flu-related deaths this season has climbed to 59. The blood supply in the Pacific Northwest is now critically low. Bloodworks Northwest urging everyone to donate if they can. The organization's Juan Cotto says they have only a day or two supply.
If just a small percentage of eligible people step up, we can fix this relatively quickly.
Cotto says they need a couple thousand donors in the next week to return the supply to a healthy level. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk and check in with Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, North 5 through Seattle. It is solid approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. About 40 minutes to make it through this. Once you clear the Ship Canal, it's about another 55 minutes into Everett. Pretty solid backup now between Northgate and Linwood. Bellevue to Everett is an hour, 10 minutes this afternoon. It's a solid backup starting near I-90 there in Bellevue all the way to that Alderwood interchange. South 5, you're going to slow at Lake City Way to I-90. It gets pretty thick at 520. Linwood to Seattle pushing 25 minutes. Crossing the lake from Bellevue into Seattle, half hour on 520. It's bumper to bumper from the west end of the lake over to I-5. 20 minutes on I-90, a little slow from coming out of the Mercer Tunnel over to I-5. And now eastbound 90 is slow across Mercer Island. Bellevue to Renton, plan on a half hour. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways at 50 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is a 40-minute drive. It's solid from interurban all the way to 516, which is very typical. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And looking at showers across the map right now. Rain continuing into tomorrow. Rain off and on through the weekend. Right now, 51 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 News in the Morning brings you the most urgent headlines, the things you need to know before you head out the door. Just like you need that cup of coffee to help you start your day off on the right foot. Live breaking news, KIRO 7 pinpoint weather, and KIRO 7 real-time traffic to help you avoid those back-to-school backups. Check in with KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m., only on KIRO 7 TV.
Thank you, Joe. Well said, well read. Heat waves. Okay.
Heat waves.
You know, I bought that little turnstile thing for $36 on Amazon. Thank you, Jeff Bezos. Sorry I made you a billionaire. And it was supposed to be for Teeny. And somebody got it and took it, and they got the helmet spin around. That's all right.
It's okay.
I don't believe this.
All right, Teeny.
She gets it back after the Super Bowl.
No Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee.
Who's going to pay the bills for the turnstile? Amazon laying off 16,000 employees, a major reduction in force, as Jill Schlesinger said on CBS News. They did. They hired a whole bunch during the lockdown because so many people were online and buying stuff, and everybody loved it at that point. They're reducing. A lot of the tech companies overhired, and then they're reducing back down again. Total amount of employees in the state, or Amazon in the United States, I think it's 1.5 million. So do the math. It's like what we say was yesterday, like 1%, 1.4%, because these layoffs are not just here in the state of Washington, in Seattle. That's 16,000 overall. They're looking, by the way, they like to try to not say it's a layoff. They say sometimes Amazon will describe it as they're not hiring. So it's a bit of a hiring freeze. Because when you do say layoffs, the folks on Wall Street have two reactions. Of course, you always have two reactions. One is buy or sell. Sometimes it looks like there's a problem with the organization. Sometimes it does well when they see that. Yeet, cats. When do they announce the layoff? So it's 7 o'clock. The stock opens at more than 250 per share, and then big, giant sell-off throughout the rest of the day. So that's not necessarily the best news. Unlike Amazon, Pinterest blames its latest move on AI. Dozens of Amazon grocery stores will close in 2026. Jeff Bezos capped his Amazon salary at $80,000. How could I possibly need more incentive? What?
80,000.
Well, yeah, you got to give yourself a salary, so 80, and then he's got a whole bunch of stock as well. Amazon to lay off 16,000 and close Amazon Fresh stores. They're concentrating more on their Whole Foods rather than the Amazon Fresh.
Just their delivery service.
Yeah, and the delivery service.
Yep.
Yeah,
grocery delivery. Yeah,
right. That Amazon Fresh. I don't know if did you ever try to go in there and buy something?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
No.
Too bad for you. It's gone.
It worked fine. They just didn't have anything I wanted.
Too bad. What you're in there looking for. Yeah. Sometimes Wall Street sees this as two signals. One, you got some big problems. You got to sort of bring things in to sell. Or they like the fact that they're reorganizing a little bit and they might be in better shape later on down the road. Amazon layoff when it comes to housing. This is the good news from KIRO 7. Hey, one man's loss is another man's gain.
Now, according to Reuters, up to 14,000 jobs nationwide could be cut. KIRO 7's Brandon Thompson joining us live now at the Amazon offices. And Brandon, this could be good news for home buyers.
It could, and not just because Amazon workers, like the more than 300 who were laid off this week in the Doppler building, one of several buildings here in downtown. It's not just because those workers may be leaving. Realtors tell me the tech boom changed what kind of housing was built, meaning there could be more opportunities.
What do you say, realtors? Did he say realtors?
Incorrectly, I believe.
Boy, that person texts every time I say the word wrong. Hold on.
Realtors tell me.
I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. I think
Realtor.
It's pretty common. Yeah,
Realtor.
Yeah.
The tech boom changed what kind of housing was built, meaning there could be more opportunity soon.
I think the capital.
For more than 10 years,
the majority of my clients have been Amazon.
Amazon employees made Kimberly Schaefer's business boom.
The last year, there was a pretty big shift in people coming in.
They worked with 23 relocation clients last year, including some Amazon employees. 21 of them moved out of Seattle. Monday was the first day more than 2,300 Amazon workers were laid off. This week, Meta announced more than 300 of their own. Schaefer says Amazon's rapid growth brought a change with what kind of housing, shifting away from single family to more density. While she does not think people leaving Amazon will make prices fall, that kind of housing should. What would be your message to folks who are kind of looking for that entry point to be a little bit more financially feasible?
It's coming. We're working hard.
All right. They're working hard. Those realtors.
When the Lord closes a door, somewhere he opens a window.
Don't forget, at the very beginning of the show, I told everybody that there are houses for sale in Medina.
That's right.
For $75 or $45 million, you get your $20 million house because the rich are already packing up and leaving. So, whether or not you're going to be able to save on houses because others are leaving, that's a whole other story. And where would the jobs be? So this is it. This is what happens. It's not just Amazon. The fact that you look to see the Seattle job market has shrunk in 2025, marking the first dip since the lockdown. So that's from KUOW had those numbers. Yeah, because people are not spending money because they don't want to come here. They don't want to start a business. It also has the highest, Washington State has the highest, I think it's number 1, 2 or 3, somewhere in there, of failure rate for businesses. Now, that's just not necessarily the taxes and the regulations and the fees and the rest of the stuff. Sometimes you have people that come here, set something up, thinking, oh, it's going to work. They get some, bunch of money thrown in from friends and family, and the thing just fails. A lot of businesses fail within the first 18 months if they're underfinanced, undercapitalized, and they've got a dream of how it's going to work. It doesn't work. But if you add in all the additional restrictions, the cost of doing business, the cost of having to employ everybody, that's what you end up with. So you're not going to have a lot of growth when it comes to economic base. Who wants to have a job? Or at least start a business where the government is basically your partner in the whole thing. Doesn't work out. I had a nice dinner yesterday at Daniel's, but boy, the prices. Nothing against Daniel's, but the price of all this sort of stuff. It was so weird. I remember when all of a sudden you go to dinner with like 3 friends, everybody gets a steak or something like that, and the bill is like, we didn't no bottle of wine or something, like $600-700. It was just wild. We have the most expensive cheeseburger in the United States now.
Yeah, I bought 2 hot dogs from a street vendor. Very good, very delicious hot dogs.
Yes.
$30 2 nights ago.
$30?
$30.
Yeah. You didn't walk away and say, forget about it?
No, I love the lady. She's awesome. Her hot dogs are fantastic. But yes, they are expensive.
Wow. Does she have all the condiments there too?
Oh, yeah. It's the classic Seattle dog. It's the cream cheese, the grilled onions, everything.
Yeah, for $15 a piece.
Yep.
Okay. Should have gone with me when I used to sell hot dogs at Veterans Stadium. I used to bring my own hot dogs in there.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
That's when you didn't need a food permit, I'm guessing.
Well, it was such a ripoff. You had to buy the hot dogs from one place, and then you had to go hurry up carrying this big, heavy metal box with all this hot water sloshing around. So my dad said, you got a cost of inventory prices are too high. Your cost of goods are too high. Get some hot dogs, bring them in, stick them in the bucket, and you sell yours out of there. You're going to do better. So I used to sneak them in my pants, stuff them down into my pants and carry them in. That didn't work out one day.
One day?
I was like, I didn't get to the 7-Eleven where he was buying it, or Wawa, or wherever I was buying them. I think with the supermarket, and they were frozen or extra cold, and that didn't go well. I was hoping that my body temperature, you can cook them.
That's right.
Here comes Nate checking traffic net on.
North 5, solid from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge, 40 to 45 minutes to make it through downtown Seattle right now. Seattle to Everett is another 55 minutes once you get over the Ship Canal Bridge. Solid backup from Shoreline to Linwood. And now we have a new crash at Mount Lake Terrace at 220th, blocking your right lane. Bellevue to Everett at hour 10. It is solid from Bellevue all the way to Alderwood. South 5 into Seattle. Not too bad, especially for this time of day. You're going to start to slow there Lake City Way down to I-90. It does get hefty there at 520. Linwood to Seattle, 20 to 25 minutes. Bellevue to Renton is at a half hour. You're bumper to bumper from mid-Bellevue down to 112th. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, 50 minutes. Now you're crowded between Renton and Canton, then it really jams up in Algona all the way down onto 512 in Puyallup. Federal Way to Tacoma, 25 minutes. You're slow at South 320th to the Puyallup River Bridge. Everywhere else, very typical backups this afternoon. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate that. This is the first thing you notice when you go to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. The guy is healthy. And if you talk to him for a brief period of time, you know that he's done Ironman events, a bunch of biking events. He's still running marathons. He loves training with his kids and loves being involved in these things. And when I told him, I said, I've done a whole bunch of marathons and stuff like that. He said, when was the last time you ran? I told him, we get you running again. So many people that you talk to, they go see Dr. Mark Wagner. You don't have to be some super athlete. You just be somebody that enjoys hikes, riding bike, playing golf, whatever it is. Wagner understands how important it is to be able to do the things you love to do. And if it's exercise, boy, you are talking to the right guy. Dr. Mark Wagner has done more than 20,000 stem cell procedures. He knows exactly whether it's going to work for you or not, and he'll tell you this will help you. If it's shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, he will let you know this would be perfect for you. So before you go under the surgeon's knife, drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
KIRO News Radio congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
The modern-day Bambino, Cal Raleigh.
We can't wait. From KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
The Tacoma Home and Garden Show, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, January 29th through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discount tickets, go to tacomahomeandgardenshow.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down. Get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about football. It's exciting when Seattle fans shake the earth. You can even feel that energy on your 100-inch variable refresh QLED surround sound 7.1. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know that enjoying the game often involves alcohol. And the police know it too. Have fun, be responsible on game day, and pace yourself. If you feel sacked in the fourth quarter, get a designated driver to take you to your end zone. If you get carried away with too many Bloody Marys after too many Hail Marys, call for a timeout. You get the point. Be safe. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Watching the game in your blue and green jersey is a lot more fun than wearing an orange jumpsuit.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. Last year, the big news, obviously, was the accomplishment of the big, beautiful bill, but that also comes with some big, beautiful changes to the IRS.
There are some big, beautiful changes going on, and so many of those changes in the big, beautiful bill impact 2025. There's definitely some big spiffs in there for the ordinary working person. One thing that I'm really disappointed in is the way that things have been communicated in regards to the Social Security. It is still going to be taxed. It's not like it's not going to be taxed, but it will be, for most people, a reduction in the amount of tax.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. DayandNight.net.
Guys, your New Year goals start now. Get limited time savings on our most popular treatments at Revive Men's Health. Visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to see if you qualify to save hundreds.
No way. If you wanted to, if you were like a really horrible political consultant, you're like, what can I do to just make people hate Trump even more? Like, hey guys, any ideas? Don't forget, no bad ideas. Actually, we want only bad ideas. How about we do a movie about his wife, Melania? And let's spend like $35 million to market it. Let's have like $40 million. And let's, what's that? Idea in the back? Yeah. Hey, I got an idea. How about we give Melania like $30 million? All right. Okay. Again, no bad ideas. We only want bad ideas. Oh, my God. There's any sound on this thing? It's being released in movie theaters, but apparently there have been very little ticket sales. It's a documentary of sorts.
Yes, and of course Amazon is
behind it.
They're the one, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Here we go again.
You can come in. Come on in. My proudest legacy will be that of peacemaker.
Peacemaker in the fire. Beautiful. Together with like-minded leaders, we have a voice.
20 days.
Safe?
Seriously.
To become First Lady. In a world.
Everyone wants to know. So here it is. Hi, Mr. President. Congratulations.
Did you watch it?
I did not. Yeah, I will see it on the news.
Melania. Exclusive in theaters.
What a
January
grift.
30th.
So it's a comedy.
You know,
It's a tax
the
write-off.
media hates her. Like Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden was on the cover of Vogue 3 times. Melania not in the United States, but yes in BC or in the UK. But like, you know, really? I watched a documentary on her. It wasn't so flattering about her upbringing, where she came as a kid and then coming to the United States and then how she met Donald Trump. Like, I mean, if that was going to be like behind the scenes and Melania spills it all and what's it like being married to him and all that other stuff,
no.
that'd be good. But this just looks like, you know,
Just happened to be the camera in the room.
she's flying around in a private jet and somebody designing a dress for her. And
So she gets like 30 mil, right?
yeah, she got 30 million. But I was looking up, you know, is she going to donate it to somebody? And man, you got to do that.
Of course not. No, this is the Trumps. Are you kidding?
You don't think she's going to give that away?
No, of course not.
She'll give it to Barron.
Yeah, I predicted he's probably got an executive producer title on it. He probably pulled off at least 5
You're
mil.
so, you know what? You're all so cynical.
Please, the Trump coin, the Melania coin. Are you kidding?
It's legal.
Yeah, it's all legal, but it doesn't.
So if it doesn't do well in the theaters, then release it, right? Somebody will watch it.
Yeah, I think they're anticipating it not doing good in the theaters because then they could write off all the losses on it.
Okay, Joe.
Come on.
It's got to be enough. Any more bad ideas? Any more? Can we show her as many times as possible getting into a private jet? Yeah, got it.
Nice.
There we go. All right. Gonna KD you. I'm talking to my sorority friend here.
Careful. Don't give out any secrets.
Is she right back? I heard you were talking about me. I'm all the time. I'm a union president after all. Because she knows she's. This is a lady I met there in.
They yelled at you, but now you're friends.
Heard it. Move on. Okay. No, and screw all of you. All right. Screw you. Here comes Nate. Check your traffic, Nathan.
All right. Lake Washington Windows and Doors has the update. Seattle to Everett is 55 minutes once you get over the Ship Canal Bridge, and it's solid between Shoreline and Linwood. We cleared that crash at Mountain Lake Terrace at 220th. It's on your right shoulder. Bellevue to Everett, hour 10 minutes. It's solid from Bellevue all the way to Alderwood. North 5 into Seattle is bumper to bumper, approaching that West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. 40 minutes to make it through this. Now, crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 25 minutes now on both 520 and 990. Eastbound 90, however, is unusually slow this afternoon from the Mount Baker Tunnel over to Island Crest Way. The only thing I can see that might be causing this is Sound Transit is testing the one line right now across the lake, so drivers are probably slowing down to check this out. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes. Renton to Puyallup at 50 minutes. You're crowded in the north end in through Kent, and then you'll jam up from basically the Outlet Mall down to 512 in Puyallup. Save $600 off windows and $1,500 off doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months, same as cash financing. Don't wait. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Here is a simple New Year's resolution that is guaranteed to succeed. I'm talking about reversing hair loss. It is a quick, easy, one-day hair loss solution from Advanced Hair. It begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and it's even guaranteed to grow. You've got world-class Dr. Alan Perungo and the top-rated team there at Advanced Hair, recently crowned 425 Business of the Year, and if you're keeping track at home, that's 2 years in a row. That's about 13 years ago. I noticed my hair starting to thin. I was asking my barber, I said, what do you think, Shelley? She's like, yeah, you're going bald in the back, and it's thinning out in the front. I said, anything you can do? Well, we could change your hairstyle. I was like, oh, no, a comb over? I thought, no way. I'm going to get my hair back. So a fuller head of hair for you. This is the New Year's resolution is guaranteed to achieve. You can celebrate the new year with Advanced Hair and get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. You can schedule a free consultation at 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Make sure you check out the before and after pictures right there at advancedhair.com.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/plan for 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What did the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we make protecting your home simple and affordable. With flexible financing and 20-plus years of trusted service, you can count on lasting quality from Guardian. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest. This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The Department of Homeland Security offers an update on the two agents who fired on Alex Preddy in Minneapolis. CBS's Nicole Skanga.
These officers, all of those who were involved, including the two that we know opened fire, have been placed on administrative leave. Now, that is typically protocol during an officer-involved shooting, and they will remain on leave if protocol is followed until this investigation is completed. We do know that HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, is currently leading this, along with the FBI, though there are a lot of questions about the credibility of the probe right now.
Border Patrol leadership had previously said the agents were relocated for safety reasons. The FBI executes a search order connected with the 2020 election at the Fulton County Election Center south of Atlanta. David Becker of the Center for Election Innovation and Research.
If the FBI and DOJ reviews these ballots, they'll find the exact same thing that every single court and every single review of these ballots has found, which is that Joe Biden legitimately won Georgia in 2020, just as Donald Trump legitimately won Georgia in 2024.
The center serves as a storage space for election equipment and office space for multiple Fulton County agencies. Hundreds of thousands in the South are still without power. Crews are racing to repair the damage after that massive weekend storm now blamed for at least 41 deaths. CBS's Katie Weiss is in hard-hit Oxford, Mississippi.
It's like an icy tornado ripped through this city. Thousands of people here in Oxford are now on day 4 with no power and no running water. And with more freezing temperatures expected this weekend, the city's mayor says it's only going to get worse.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio has testified before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee about the path forward in Venezuela.
We want to reach a phase of transition where we are left with a friendly, stable,
prosperous Venezuela, and democratic, in which all elements of society are represented in free and fair elections.
Secretary Rubio also says it will take time to stabilize Venezuela and get its oil infrastructure up to speed. President Trump escalates his warnings toward Iran, threatening harsher military action while urging Tehran to return to the negotiating table over its nuclear program. Iran is pushing back, saying it's open to talks but ready to defend itself. CBS's Charlie D'Agata.
There was a lot of damage done to Iran's nuclear facilities. That's an understatement. You know, the B-2 bombers with these massive ordnance penetrators did a lot of damage to one or two of the main nuclear sites in Iran. But it is the case of the Iranians and the Iranian regime that as soon as the dust settles, literally and metaphorically, they're rebuilding again.
This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to CBS News Roundup on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, a bill to ban masks for police moves closer to becoming law. We'll have an update after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
All right, this one brought to us by the Tacoma Home and Garden Show. Seattle to Everett, plan on 55 minutes. That's after you cross the Ship Canal Bridge. It's solid between Shoreline and Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 10. It's solid from Bellevue all the way to that Alderwood interchange. And then, of course, you're going to hook into that northbound I-5 backup. In Canyon Park, both directions of State Route 527 are really struggling. You're bumper to bumper approaching the intersection there at Thrasher's Corner. Northbound is backed up all the way to 405. I've yet to receive any confirmation yet what is causing this. And my guess is we could have the traffic lights flashing red. North 5 in Seattle, it's solid approaching the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. 45 minutes to make it through downtown. Northbound 99 at the entrance to the downtown tunnel. We've got a crash in your left lane. You're backed up to the West Seattle Bridge. Eastbound 90, unusually heavy from the Mount Baker Tunnel over to the Island Crest Way. Seattle to Federal Way, a 35-minute drive. Renton to Puyallup at 50 minutes. And it's bumper to bumper south of 18 into Puyallup. The Tacoma Home and Garden Show, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, is January 29th through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discount tickets, go to TacomaHomeandGardenShow.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. The Washington State Senate has passed a bill banning law enforcement from wearing masks while on duty. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Ming-Lavin has details.
This is Bill 5855. It bolsters an existing state law that requires officers to be reasonably identifiable through a badge or a name tag. Now, this bill prohibits opaque face coverings like balaclavas and tactical masks. The bill is on the way to the House. Governor Bob Ferguson has been pushing for its passing, saying he will sign it when it hits his desk.
We are getting an exclusive look at that plan to tax millionaires here in Washington. Lawmakers confirmed to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger they are circulating a draft bill, calls for a 9.9% tax on income above $1 million.
The bill would essentially overturn Initiative 2111, the income tax ban voters approved in 2024. Remember, Washington voters have rejected income taxes 11 times since 1932.
Read more about that bill at mynorthwest.com. Well, the emails came overnight for many Amazon employees.
I saw an email this morning, but I don't really know much about the details.
The company notifying its workforce that 16,000 roles are being slashed starting today. CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger says that's on top of the 14,000 job cuts announced last October.
What we know about Amazon is they hired like crazy during the pandemic. And since then, they have been paring a lot of those hires back and diverting their attention to AI and the real future as they see it.
The voice of the Mariners spoke with reporters today as Rick Riz prepares for his final season in the broadcast booth.
This has been truly a joy. Lou Gehrig said it best, I'm the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Well, you're looking at a guy who's now 72 years old that has been fortunate enough to live his dream. And I hope everybody in this room is living their dream.
He has called Mariners games for more than 40 years. Now to your weather update. Cloudy skies right now. Showers off and on tonight. Rain turning to showers tomorrow as well. Right now, 49 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show
Oh, good.
listener introduction line.
Another recipe
Please tell
from
us
Aaron.
a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Let's see.
I'm planning on doing my income tax the next 2 or 3 weeks now. They give you this booklet, Instructions for Preparing. On the cover, there's a letter from the commissioner, Lawrence B. Gibbs.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing that makes you wonder about the IRS.
Thank you for that, Andy Rooney. Say it with me. Hydrox.
What kind
of name is that for a cookie? The guy's on kind of like 40 years of television. We only remember one thing. Here we go. I think Joe puts these stories in here just to try to kill me. That'd be great to die on the air.
Oh. Yes.
A heart attack, just die right there.
I would ask you to put your turtleneck back on before anything that might go viral.
Here we go. Okay, you don't like this? Somebody asked me what this meant. MLK, what, greater than DEI? Like, yeah. What are you trying to say? MLK, greater than DEI. That's it. Got even with the greater than less than sign. Remember that one?
Yeah.
There you go. A little bit of some simple math for everybody. Let's see. Let's go to King County. King County Parks cannot show where these stories. It's the same stuff all the time. But what the hell? We're going to talk about it before we have another commercial come in here. So King County auditors reported that the Parks and Rec Division and granting programs are expanding sharply since 2017, while its oversight strategy has not kept pace with the grant volume, meaning they just shoot the money out, but nobody knows where it goes. Chris Daniels doing really good work on all this sort of stuff over at Como.
Voters approved raising their property taxes last August to renew the levy that also funds millions in community grants. But there is a problem, according to King County auditors.
There were some gaps in some financial procedures, which means that they're not in a good place to be able to consistently detect and prevent fraud, misuse, those sorts of areas.
Mia Neidhart was part of the team that reviewed the program that's dished out millions, allowing grantees to get paid before work and without submitting receipts, noting...
Let that sink in. You get paid before you do the job, and you don't have to give them any receipts. Who built this program? I remember a time driving my kids, and my daughter and my son said, Dad, why can't everything just be free? Right? Like, why do we have to pay for stuff? If everything were free, it would just be so much better. And then I think it was Rye said, I have an idea. Can you just pay us ahead of time and then not have us give any receipts for the work we've done? So get a job over at King County Parks.
While the probe did not look for fraud,
You know what? Don't look for fraud.
Could not confirm that all grantee payments were in line with program intent.
We could see money was going out the door, but there wasn't the documentation to show, and that money contributed to the goals of the program.
Without that more rigorous financial documentation, it's impossible for either parks or us to really understand that money was spent appropriately.
We have got to do a far better job in terms of...
That's got to be Reagan Dunn coming in there, right? Is that Reagan Dunn? We got to do a far better job.
If that money was spent appropriately.
We have got to do a far better job in terms of demanding accountability, measuring the outcomes for those programs.
Reagan Dunn.
The problem is this. It's not your money. What do you care, right? And nobody gets fired, so who cares? So steal it, do whatever you can, because everybody's stealing it. You'd be a fool not to steal it. I had a government job when I was 17 years old. I remember doing that, I forget what we were doing, and working out of the dump outside of Philadelphia. And I remember doing the job, and the one goes, hey, slow down. What are you trying to do, make us look bad? I'm like, no, the guy said we got to move all this stuff over there. Yeah, well, take your time. And then the other thing was, it's government, good enough for government work. Ever heard that one? Mm-hmm. It's like, well, why is that good enough? Good enough for government? That's close enough. Why? Because, what are you going to do? You going to lose your job? Is the customer going to find some other place to go? So that's just good enough. One guy digging, 3 guys leaning on the shovel. Hey, don't make us look bad. Slow down.
Is the King County Council's vice chair and calls it a troubling trend.
I continue to see a pattern within
more Reagan Dunn.
King County where the people's tax dollars aren't being appropriately granted out into the community in ways that the public can trust they're being used for good.
A Parks Department spokesperson wrote Como News to suggest there was no misuse of public funds, but that the department will fully implement each of the auditor's 11 recommendations to handle an estimated $100 million on the grant program in the next 5 years.
Oh, my God. I've told this story before, so you hit the button now, Andrew, for those people who are tuning in at different times.
What?
Come on. I got lots of buttons in here. I don't know which one you're talking about.
Heard it, move on.
Oh, yeah.
Heard it, move on. Well, I'll take 1 second or 1 minute on the clock.
Okay, go.
We got elected to Sammamish City Council. First vote we had was $24,600. Still, I'll never forget it. To Triangle and Associates. Why? To educate fourth graders on the importance of picking up dog poop. Why? Because fourth graders are apparently really good at changing behavior of parents. They can nag them into not smoking. They can nag them into wearing seatbelts. They can nag them into recycling. So we're going to spend $24,600 at Triangle Associates to educate fourth graders on the importance of picking up dog poop. Does anybody have any questions before we vote? Yeah, I have a question. How much poop is out there? Well, if we don't know how much poop's out there, we spend $24,000. How do we know where the money's well spent? We don't know. So I was like, how about we go out and count all the poop, then spend the money, and then go back and count the piles of poop later on and see if it did any effect. Okay, we ready to vote? What about counting poop? The vote?
They passed it.
Yes. Yep. Two people voted against it, myself and John James. This is my first day on the council. I didn't know I was like the motion, second the motion, all the votes. I was just sitting there like, wow, there's the first, speaking of pile of poop, there's the first big chunk of it going out, $24,600 at Triangle and Associates.
Did you pay them before they educated the fourth graders or after?
Oh, I don't think it mattered.
Okay.
Because it was federal dollars. Here's another one for you. You know, Sound Transit is in desperate financial crisis. That's how they describe it. They need to come up with anywhere between $30 and $35 billion. It looks like they're going to have to do some serious cuts. They're not going to be able to go to Ballard, won't be able to have this and that out to West Seattle. Oh, boy, we don't have enough money. Where do we get our money from? Oh, I know. We get it from people that are driving in cars that will never, ever be on one of these trains. So let's go and get the money from them with their car registrations, which is the biggest joke, right? Because the way they look at it, the way the state does the value of your car, nobody would possibly back up any of this sort of stuff. Like when you buy a car, remember that thing in 2017, supposed $30 car tabs, Tim Eyman living off that for the longest time. What happens? Sound Transit values your car differently than the Kelley Blue Book would. So you get a car, and after 1 year, the folks at Sound Transit, state of Washington, say, well, your car's worth 95% of its value. Kelley sees it at 70% of the value if you try to trade it in. After 2 years, the state says, Sound Transit regional board that values the car and then screws you over on what you got to pay. They say, oh, no, after 2 years, your car's worth 89% of its original sticker value. And Blue Book Kelley's like, I'll give you 59%. So nobody would possibly pay. That's not the value of the car, right? This thing was challenged. It went to court, and they're like, well, whatever the state needs. You buy a Camry. This is a while ago. Buy a brand new Camry for $23,000. And then 3 years later, your car after 3 years is worth $10,700. That's the most you can get for it. Nope. The folks that rip you off for the Sound Transit money said, no, your car's worth $19,090. So the reason they inflate the value of the car because you're going to pay more. What happened was when they decided they weren't going to do any pull stops because cops are all racist, and if they pull over a driver and the driver happens to be black and then gets shot, well, that's a problem. So what do you do about that? Let's just not pull anybody over, and let's just not have cops engage with anybody. So cops basically stopped also enforcing the car registration. Now there is a new Marcus, what's this guy's name? Marcus something or other. Marco Lias, I think that's the senator, has come up with a new one. So here it is. Hope you're sitting down. They pull you over. It's not registered. It's got an expired tabs. It's $529. It goes on your record. And it is now it's a traffic infraction. So it goes on your record that you've done this. You pay $529 And then here's the other one. If you park the car and they come along, they can tow it. And if it's got a expired tab on it, they'll charge you $248. If you try to register your car in another state where they're going to come along, that's going to be a gross misdemeanor. You could do 1 year in jail, $1,000 fine. If you're a repeat offender, it's $5,000. They're going to try to make it up on everybody that hasn't been paying. Because what was the number they said? How many people? What did they say?
600,000.
Oh, yeah. Come on. I play that game driving down the road. You see a little sticker, what color it is. You're like, that guy didn't pay. That guy didn't pay. He didn't pay.
Your eyes aren't that good. Come on.
Excuse me, K2 Vision. Dr. Kopstein. Yeah. You ever notice that? And I talked to a cop one time, and I said, why didn't they pull him over? And he goes, we just don't. This is just one. Hopefully you get this cop again. He said, I just think the prices are too high. I think they screw you on the registration, so I don't bother enforcing that.
We've had a couple anonymous troopers text in and say, yeah, I'm not giving anybody a ticket for that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you wanted to incentivize them for every ticket they get, they get something. But there are a lot of these guys that are driving around trying to enforce this. So, that's just too much. We got pulled over in Cle Elum one day for an expired tab.
Cleelsequa?
Yes, in Cleelsequa. And the guy comes up, driver's license, registration, proof of insurance. And was Nick driving? I think Nick was driving. I think the guy had a few too many edibles. And expired tabs. And we were driving this crappy old car, right? In fact, it was so bad. That was the one that had to put the
4Runner that had
Yeah. The window was down. You had to put the window down for the cop. And it was cold outside.
Did it roll down the tarp?
And Nick said, this is our junker car. Our other one is in the shop, and the other one didn't start because it's so cold outside. This is the junkie car that we drive. We just went over to Mike's. We're coming back. And the guy goes, now, I believe you that this is your junk car. And I said, and I'm high out of my mind. I'm like, how do you know this is our junk car, officer? Just wondering how you know. Just curious as to where you got that from. And he said, well, I'm looking at that ring on your wife's finger, and I'm going to assume there's no way that you could have a ring that big, and this would be your everyday car. And I went, this is my everyday car. I drive this car all the time. I don't care. I don't care about cars. Now, this car is such a piece of junk. There's only one door. He's like, okay, ma'am, why don't you just have your husband quiet down? Here's my business. Here's my card. He said, what I want you to do is go get the car registered. You know where you can do that, up there near your Cashmere Bank. Get it registered and then take a picture of it and then send it to me on my business card. There's my phone number down there. You send me a picture of it and I'll take this ticket and I won't turn it in. So, of course, Nick's like, all panicked. He's like, he's not going to enforce it.
I mean, come on. At that
but
point,
nice guy.
Yeah.
So, and it was a crappy car. It was, I don't know, but I'm sure the state thought it was worth $50,000. So we did. We filled it out. But it's the risk that you run because a lot of people are like, I'll just take the ticket, right? I'm not going to register the car because the price is so crazy. It used to be just a small fine. Now they're going to whack you pretty hard. And because now it is now, so now it's a driving infraction. So it goes on your record. That's not good.
Okay, now this is a proposal, right?
Yeah,
so,
but it's coming. Of course, who's going to vote that down? Who's going to vote that down? Because Sound Transit needs the money so we can put you on a choo-choo train. Speaking of that, don't we have Claudia Balducci coming in tomorrow?
Yes.
Because I said to her, I just can't wait to get on that train and go across the bridge. And didn't she then said, oh, it's going to be so much fun to everybody?
She said yes, and we should do it together. You didn't tell her about the flying car.
No, I didn't. I
water
saved her
balloon
that.
thing.
Right.
So yeah, we can get into that tomorrow though.
Okay. Because I do see little trains going back and forth, not with anybody on it,
right?
But it is going back and forth across. Yeah,
yes, I think March 28th is the official ridership date, so that's when you and Claudia will be riding the train together.
Okay.
She also filed a motion for an audit for DCYF yesterday, so you can talk a little.
We'll talk about all
that
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, Claudia Balducci, who ran for King County Executive and did not win. By the way, every single person we had on the show, none of them won except for one, Katie Wilson. I spoke to Ann Davidson over the weekend.
Right.
Nope. Right?
Yep.
Sarah Nelson.
Nope.
Judge Wagner.
That's right.
Ow.
Nope.
It's a kiss of death.
Stephanie Mora and Burien.
Carmen Goers.
Carmen Goers. And technically, you had Bruce and Katie on, so he didn't win either.
I just covered my bets on that one. And I even had somebody sit in here. I figured it was, and I said, you're never going to win. Who is that?
Oh, that was Andrea Suarez. She left. She goes, that was really mean what he said.
It's true. Look, you're not going to win. If you don't have a D next to your name, you're not going to win in the state of Washington.
Yeah, if you're sitting in that chair, you're not going to win.
Yeah, exactly. So come on in, everybody, if you want to. I heard from John Braun, Senator Braun. He's running in the 3rd for Congress.
Don't let him do it.
Hold on, let's break it. We got one on the win side, Katie Wilson. So we'll get the senator on.
All right. It's his election.
His funeral. That hurts. All right, what else we got coming up? Oh, look at the time. We're checked.
Oh, we never got to the Real ID.
Oh, they're not going to enforce that. I don't think. Yeah, so when you go to the airport and they get in the TSA line and you don't have Real ID and you don't have a passport, they said they're going to fine you $45. So what, they're going to pull you out of line and take you over and run your credit card or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
No, it's an option.
What do you mean?
No, you can pay it. You can pay it ahead of time.
Right.
Or you can pay it when you're in line, but it's 30 minutes if you don't pay it and you get to the airport. So it's an extra 30 minutes. I got to go verify everything. Or even if you pay it ahead of time, you still have to do a verification process, which takes about 15 minutes.
Right, but it's not a fine. It's the process.
It's a fee. Yeah, it's a fee.
Okay.
And now you know.
Thanks, everybody.
The rest of the story.
Now you got the news. Here comes Nate with more.
Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes once you clear the Ship Canal Bridge, and then it's a solid backup from Shoreline through Linwood. Bellevue to Everett has gone up to an hour 15. You're solid from Kirkland to Canyon Park. This is a pretty hefty backup now. And in Canyon Park, northbound 527 remains bumper to bumper coming off 405 up to Thrasher's Corner. Southbound 527 has cleared out, so I'm assuming whatever's blocking at that intersection has cleared as well. North 5 solid through downtown, starting at the Michigan Curve up to the Ship Canal Bridge. 40 to 45 minutes to make it through this. Northbound 99 at the entrance to the downtown tunnel. We've got a crash in your left lane. You're backed up to the West Seattle Bridge. Once you get through this, that downtown tunnel is still jam-packed all the way up to Lake Union. Bellevue to Renton, a half hour. Renton to Puyallup has improved to 40 minutes. We have a new crash in Federal Way, westbound 18 at Warehouser Way. It's blocking your right lane. And eastbound 18, scattered backups between I-5 and Federal Way over to C Street in Auburn. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. If you're over the age of 50, you don't want to wear glasses, no more contacts, readers, concerned about cataracts, you got to go see the good doctors over there at K2 Vision. Here's my quick story. You've heard it before, but it bears repeating. I went to my doctor over there in Queen Anne. He goes, well, looks like you need another prescription. I said, I was just in here last year. He goes, yeah, your eyes are really, we need to stay up on this. I said, whoa. Every year I've got another prescription. Yep. Wait, before I did that, I thought, okay, I'm going to find out some other way. So I found out about RLE, refractive lens exchange. So I started doing some research because there are a couple of places to go. And it was interesting. I won't say which one it was, but I got the sense that they were just like, come on in, we'll just do it. So I meet Dr. Kopstein over at K2 Vision. And he says, listen, I'm not going to do this unless it's going to have a great result. I'll tell you to come back. So he looks at my eye and says, yeah, this is going to work for you. And sure enough, it did. I got 20/20 vision. It takes 5 minutes, one eye, 5 on the other. Next thing you know, no more readers, no more glasses, no more contacts. K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Grippies with back-to-back home runs!
KIRO News Radio congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
The modern-day Bambino, Cal Raleigh.
We can't wait. From KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, And new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor.
Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Did you know that 25% of your home's heat loss is through your attic? Hot air rises, and if your attic isn't properly insulated, the hot air is going to rise right through your ceiling, into your attic, and out your roof that's far past its half-life. That sounds cold and expensive. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. If this sounds like your house, it's time to call Valentine. And right now, Valentine has a great winter special. Bundle attic insulation with any new roof, and you'll save an additional 10% off your entire project. Plus, with Valentine's financing options, they make it easy. No matter what your home needs, insulation, gutters, siding, or a new roof, you are guaranteed the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service, even in winter weather. My home is protected by Valentine. They keep me off the roof, which my wife and kids are extremely grateful for. I trust them to help you too. To lock in your winter bundle savings, call 206 Roofing today. Again, that's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine vans, you know your home is in good hands. 206 Roofing.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. Amazon announces it is cutting 16,000 roles starting today. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey spoke with employees in Seattle. They fear more layoffs are on the way.
Outside the Amazon spheres in downtown Seattle, one employee told me the fear and anxiety inside the company are real.
No job is safe. So even let's say you become a mathematician, scientist. I mean, I work in AI. I'm not safe.
Amazon has cut nearly 30,000 jobs since October. In a mass email to employees, the company said the moves are meant to reduce bureaucracy and that it does not anticipate further layoffs. The workers I spoke with tell me they no longer feel safe.
We don't know yet how many Washington workers will be laid off. GeekWire's Todd Bishop tells us that number will likely be in the thousands.
It's just a very difficult market right now. I mean, these have an impact, and they impact the tax base. They impact, businesses and spending capacity.
Cuts come as many tech companies say AI is reshaping their plans long-term, reducing demand for certain roles. For the first time this flu season, a child has died from influenza here in Washington. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi reports it happened in Snohomish County.
Health officials say it was a teenager who got sick last week. So far, 10 deaths have been reported in Snohomish County this flu season, and more than 220 people have been hospitalized. Statewide, there have been 59 confirmed flu-related deaths. Snohomish County Health Officer Dr. James Lewis says it's not too late to get your flu shot. The season typically runs from October through April, usually peaks right about now. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Bloodworks Northwest issues a code red alert for blood donations. Here's KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Bloodworks says it has only a 1 to 2 day supply of blood, and a healthy supply is 5 to 7 days. The problem is winter storms moving across much of the country. People there can't get out to donate blood, so Bloodworks is sending blood to places like Texas to help out. Juan Cotto is with Bloodworks Northwest.
We will need several thousand donors over the next week to restore a stable, acceptable blood supply.
Call Bloodworks Northwest or find them online if you'd like to donate. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Let's get you home now. We go to the real-time traffic desk with Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Well, if you're heading to Everett from Seattle, it's going to take you about 50 minutes before you get home. Once you clear the Ship Canal Bridge, that is. It's solid between Shoreline and Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, hour 10. It's solid from Kirkland to Canyon Park, and that is a really thick backup. North 5 in Seattle is jam-packed at the Michigan Curve. Across the Ship Canal Bridge, about 40 minutes to make it through this backup. Northbound 99, we're jammed up at the West Seattle Bridge all the way to Mercer. We still have that crash in your left lane at the entrance to the downtown tunnel. Got a new collision in South Park. It's a northbound 99 at Holden Street. It's actually a stalled bus blocking the left general purpose lane, not to be confused with the left turn lanes that send you to the First Avenue South Bridge. You're backed up to Cloverdale. Bellevue to Renton is a half hour. Renton to Puyallup, 40 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is improved to 25 minutes. We're starting to clear out pretty quickly now along this route. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Now to your forecast, we are looking at cloudy skies tonight. Of course, we have rain on the way as well, off and on periods of downpours for Thursday and Friday. Right now, 49 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
See it? Here, it's my phone. You want to see? Yeah, we're gonna. What are you laughing at? I know that's news. It's counterintuitive. That's I know, Teeny. Hang on. We're producing on the fly.
Yeah, 15 seconds before we go on the air.
You're that good of a producer.
Fair.
Have I ever lied to you? Have I ever let you down?
No.
Here's the story. This guy was testifying before a Senate committee. Dr. Jared Cooney, Horvath, testifying, talking about, well, kids are getting dumber.
My name is Dr. Jared Cooney Horvath. I'm
sorry. There's your pronounce your name correctly.
A former teacher turned cognitive neuroscientist who focuses on human learning. Our kids are less cognitively capable than we were at their age. Since we've been standardizing and measuring cognitive development since the late 1800s, every generation has outperformed their parents. And that's exactly what we want. We want sharper kids. And the reason for this largely has been school. Each generation spends more time in school. We use school to develop our cognition. Congratulations, you see your correlation. Until Gen Z. Gen Z is the first generation in modern history to underperform us on basically every cognitive measure we have, from basic attention to memory to literacy to numeracy to executive functioning to even general IQ, even though they go to more school than we did. So why? What happened? What happened around 2010 that decoupled schooling from cognitive development? It can't be school. Schools basically look the same. It can't be biology. This hasn't had enough time to change. The answer appears to be the tools we are using within schools to drive that learning. Across 80 countries, as Gene was just saying, if you look at the data, once countries adopt digital technology widely in schools, performance goes down significantly. To the point where kids who use computers about 5 hours per day in school for learning purposes will score over 2/3 of a standard deviation less than kids who rarely or never touch tech at school. And that's across 80 countries. Bring it home to the U.S. Let's go to the U.S. We have our NAEP. That's our big data. Take any state. And here's a fun experiment you can try. Take any
a fun experiment.
State NAEP data. Compare that to when that state adopted one-to-one technology widely. And watch what happens. The NAEP data will plateau and then start to drop. Now, as Gene said, of course, this is all correlative. What we really want is causative. To get causation, what you need is academic research and you need mechanisms, explanations for why we're seeing what we're seeing. Luckily, we have academic research stretching back to 1962 that shows the exact same story for 60 years. When tech enters education, learning goes down. In fact, one of the biggest ed psychologists right now, Dylan William out of the UK, recently said, ed tech is a revolution that's been coming for 60 years. And we're going to have to wait another 60 because it ain't doing anything. Now that's research, but now we need mechanisms.
Okay, I'm not done. The Flynn effect, talking about IQ. I checked this guy out, and yeah, a lot of the data he's using, and it is backed up by additional data and peer review. And the numbers are startling, and this shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. That you spend a lot of time online, you're getting dopamine hits, and your attention span is reduced, and you're not doing any real great cognitive work. You're not analyzing literature. You're not trying to figure things out. And I thought, well, there must be something positive about it. So just for the commercial break, I told Joe, there is a social media
Can I just verbatim tell them what you told me?
What did I say?
10 seconds before we go on the air. Hey, Joe, can you see if if you can find some TikToks talking about kids who like to read?
I said book talk, BOOK talk. TikTok creators, often called book talk influencers, are posting about reading and how much fun reading is, making books and reading look fun, social, and engaging. Like Iman's books, one of the biggest book talk personalities, known for humorous, enthusiastic book reviews. Her videos often mix humor and good read, and they talk about books that they're reading and books that they're enjoying. So this is, you didn't know.
That's the thing. It's good.
And you have it?
No.
Why not?
Because that's not how TikTok works. You want somebody talking about how great reading is.
They go online and they'll say, hey, I'm reading War and Peace. I'm reading Moby Dick.
They're not reading Moby Dick.
What are they reading?
They're reading the Vampire Diaries or something.
Well, that's better than nothing.
It's better than
But at least they're reading.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah. I was a terrible reader, so I never read anything. And then finally, about 15 years ago, I thought I better start reading, or maybe even earlier than that. So when Audible came along, I have all these books, so I can be in the car and listen. It's after about an hour, I find that my attention starts to get fried. But at night, I'll just listen for an hour. I'm plowing through 6 books, get on a stationary bike, listen for 45 minutes, and I'm trying to get them all. My brother said he wasn't going to read anything new until he read all the classics. So he read every single classic. He read them all. There's 75 books that are part of the classics. And he said later on, after reading them all, because my dad bought the Life magazine, 100 of the best classics, leather-bound books. So we had those. And when he died, we were going through these boxes of books. My sister's like, I read War and Peace. Oh, I've read Little Women. Oh, I've read Crime and Punishment. I've read all Tolstoy. And my brother's like, I've read that. And I got a big pile of them. And they're still sitting in the box. But by listening, at least I feel like, okay, now I can better just start from the masters of great literature, and then you can see that other books just steal a whole bunch of stuff from some of the great works. So.
I think though what Dr. Jared Cooney Horvath is talking about is less. I mean, just because you read it in a book doesn't necessarily mean you're gaining any cognitive skill. Sure you can read, and I think most kids can, but it's also just the isolationism, the dopamine that you talked about, the lack of social skills and
no. But if you're reading real literature, if you're having to understand how the author and the perspective of the history and when they're talking about it, and then also understanding complex layers. You read anything from Tolstoy or Dostoevsky, and you're like, oh my God, you can't even keep track. I started to read War and Peace, and my sister said you need to get a piece of paper next to you and write down the names, because there's so many different names coming in. But as a dyslexic person, the names I'm horrible with names. Yeah. So I'd have to have a little piece of paper there and go, okay, that guy's name is okay, I'm going to call him Vince. And then another guy with a V in his name. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's Vladimir. That's Vince too.
All the Russian names are all very similar too.
Yes,
so they all a couple syllables different.
Yes. Treplev and the rest of the gang from Chekhov. The good news is, although Joe couldn't find it, there are people that are on social media now, influencers, talking about how exciting it is to read. So there's the good news.
How many followers they got?
Joe, a lot of followers.
And what are they reading? I think it's another.
No, they're reading real literature, good stuff.
Yeah.
Read some John Updike. You read any of that stuff?
No.
How about just a simple book like Jack London's To Build a Fire? You read that one?
Nope.
That one, I think, 1954, 1955, best short story in America. It's one of the top best 100 stories in America.
Oh, that's right.
Jack London, to build a fire. He's out there with his dog. I don't want to ruin it for anyone.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I got plenty to read, but I don't think, even in book talk, I don't think they're reading a lot of the literary classics.
You don't know. You didn't look. I did. You're keeping everybody in the dark. Somebody's cognitive abilities are declining right now, even as we speak. Here comes the genius.
Oh, is that me?
Nate.
Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes once you clear the Ship Canal Bridge. It's a solid backup, though, from Shoreline through north of Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, hour 15. It's solid. We're talking bumper to bumper from Kirkland all the way into Canyon Park. And then you're break free right there at 527. North 5, solid from the Michigan Curve. Really, actually now closer to the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. About 40 minutes to make it through this. Northbound 99, we're jammed up from Soto up to Mercer. We cleared our crash, though, at the entrance to the tunnel. Bellevue to Renton, a half-hour commute. It's solid from North Bellevue all the way to the Renton Landing. Really thick between Northeast 8th and 112th. In South Park, we've still got this stalled bus northbound 99 at Holden Street, right at the intersection. It's blocking that left general purpose lane. Again, not to be confused with the left turn lanes that send you to the First Avenue South Bridge. You're bumper-to-bumper approaching Cloverdale. And out toward Bonnie Lake, eastbound 410 is solid from Valley Avenue all the way up the hill to Walmart, about a 4-mile backup. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
The Tacoma Home and Garden Show, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, January 29th through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discount tickets, go to tacomahomeandgardenshow.com.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
that's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchie's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member, you get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchie's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchie.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Heward here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, TILA has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. TILA, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call TILA Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TILA Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
At Skyline Seattle, senior living never sounded so good. We celebrate the arts and are building enviable cultural partnerships like the Ballardet Quartet from the Seattle Chamber Music Society and the Seattle Art Museum. We provide our residents all the energy Seattle offers. Make your home at Seattle's only true life care community. Culture has an address. Skyline. Discover it all at skylineseattle.org.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Several people texted in asking for a link to the clip by Dr. Jared Cooney Horvath.
Okay, and are you going to do that for everybody?
Yeah, I already did.
No, we're there. Thank you, Joe. All right. Do we have time for a song? I think a young man would like to step up to the microphone. There he is.
As you can see.
Hudson?
To be messing with me on the mailman. Everything new on the mailman. Bring the mail to you.
There we go. We'll get a letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest.
253 says, hey guys, I sure hope you talk about the big debut of Melania this Friday. I've got my tickets. Do you? I am super stoked. I bet the theaters are going to be jam-packed. To avoid the throngs at concessions, I'm smuggling in a bottle of water, Junior Mints, and Red Vines. Slow ticket sales, you say? Just more fake news. Signed, Excited and Enumclaw.
Thank you, 253. 253, also another one, says, Gen Z here listening to you fellas. Lay it on us.
See, we got a couple.
Well, that guy's smart because he's listening to this show.
That's right. Jamestown and Eastlake says, as I was picking up my Dark Side Quad Espresso from the local monorail, I could not help but spy a John Curley in the window.
Monorail Espresso. Yeah, we used to go there all the time. We used to take celebrities in town and go there and take pictures with them and put it up on the wall, the little glass thing. It was really fun. Yeah. Ray Liotta took him there. Took Lenny and Squiggy, the guys from, was the guy from Spinal Tap. Took him there.
Oh, yeah. The one on 5th?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then I'd go there. I said, guys, take a quick photo. They had a little Polaroid there. We'd stick it up in the window. It's really fun. Cool. Barbara says, question, why did Don O'Neill say Rick Riz is being forced out? I don't know why Don said that.
Neither does Rick Riz.
I don't think Rick. I think Rick wants to leave on his own.
Yeah.
Was he 71?
70, I think 72.
A lot of travel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rachel C. says, I just tuned in and I'm afraid to ask about what John had in his pants. A hot dog he was selling?
I'll tell that some other story.
Okay.
360, John, grow your chin heater back. Yes, I'm going to grow my beard back.
Ted from Tacoma said, my grandson asked me the question as to why everything can't be free. And I mentioned to him that the idea would be great until your toilet's backed up. Then when you call a plumber, he really doesn't have any need to come service your toilet because everything he gets is free.
That's a good way of looking at it. Let's see. G in Puyallup says, don't feel sorry for Tim Eyman. I served him before a couple of times at his house. He's made a very, very good living being a lobbyist and a consumer advocate.
Well, Reverell said, John.
Thank you, Joe.
It's a long one for you.
A lot of words.
On We Are the World, Lisa in Renton says, kudos to Nate for his excellent voice identification on We Are the World. One of my many gifts is identifying celebrity voices by voice only. Oh, and humility, obviously. Maybe we should have a contest.
She can do celebrity voices?
Identify them based on their voice.
Should try with Nate again.
Yeah.
Bruce?
Yeah.
And Diana Ross.
Diana Ross.
Michael Jackson. Kenny Loggins.
Good Lord. Let's see. It was Waylon Jennings walked out because he didn't want to.
You're 206. 206.
206. Abalonia on drums, not Sheila E. Yeah.
That's not true.
Ooh, wow. Look at you.
Apollonia played. Oh.
No,
Apollonia. She was the keyboard player.
Okay. Thank you.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
We don't want to put information that's not true.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, Teeny.
Gretchen in the 360 says, hey, John.
Yes.
I heard you were giving Nate a hard time about grammar a few days ago.
Was I?
I've caught you twice in the last 3 minutes.
I know, lay and lie. I know.
But I'll only mention one. Chickens lay, cows lie. And for the future, people lie too, and I'm not talking about being dishonest.
Okay.
Love you. Keep up the great show. Grammatical errors and all.
Yeah, I know. My Aunt Mary used to catch me on that one all the time. And the other one was she. If you refer to a woman as she, like she did this and she said that, my aunt would go, she's the cat's mother, which I never understood.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't know.
That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Didn't write
To be
no
respectful, say the person's name. Well, she told me to do that. She's the cat's mother. That went to the bank. Here comes Nate, checking traffic, Nathan.
Seattle to Everett is down to 40 minutes once you clear the Ship Canal Bridge, and then it is a solid backup still between Shoreline and Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, hour 10. It's solid from Kirkland up to Canyon Park there at 527, and then you'll clear out pretty quickly, but it is really heavy from 520 up to Northeast 132nd. North 5 through Seattle, still solid, approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. 40 minutes to make it through this. Northbound 99, still solid from the West Seattle Bridge up to Mercer through that tunnel. Bellevue to Renton, we're at a half hour. It's packed from North Bellevue down to the Renton Landing, and really it's pretty thick all the way down to Northeast 8th. From there, you'll start to thin out. South Park, northbound 99 at Holden Street. Got a stalled bus blocking that left general purpose lane. You're backed up approaching Cloverdale. And in Tacoma, a new crash eastbound 16 at South 19th. This blocking 3 lanes, and you're backed up approaching Pearl Street. And we also have a wind advisory down there crossing the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
The G and Ursula Show.
We going to the Super Bowl.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
I have been told about Woodstock and how it was just peace, love, and hair grease. That was the energy amongst Seahawk fans everywhere.
People were doubting Sam Darnold. He had the game of his lifetime.
At the game of his life. He won 14 games with the Minnesota Vikings last season, and he won 14 games with the Seahawks this season.
Subscribe to the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel and watch live.
You know, it's frustrating. You work your tail off for 40 plus years. The government takes 30 or 40% in taxes. Then they turn right around and waste it. Americans are getting fed up, and that's why they're taking advantage of tax planning. Charlie Harger here. Tax planning could significantly reduce your taxes, not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. Learn how much you could save in taxes when you retire with free retirement tax savings analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. If you've saved more than $300,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. Don't pay the government one more dime than you need to. You need to call the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Nick, did you know this is called quit time? Did you know what that is?
I do not know.
That means right about this time of the year, people quit their New Year's resolutions.
Oh, kind of like last year.
Okay, never mind. The important thing is that both of us made a New Year's resolution that we would take better care of ourselves for each other. And we're holding to that.
We are not flaming out because...
Longevity Medical Clinic. So we get the support of Longevity. We told them what our goals were, and they're like, absolutely, we'll get you in line. So they support me, they support you, and then as a couple, they're making us accountable for the decisions we make. So we're not going to be quitting on these things. I can't remember what your New Year's resolution was around the house.
My New Year's resolution around the house was that I was going to try to get you to start putting things away.
And I was going to get you to actually learn how to cook a piece of chicken.
Oh, well, that's for next year.
Okay, fine. Either way, we've got a team behind us. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about hockey. Don't you love a sport where it's almost fair game to throw off your gloves and bare knuckle it in that gray area? Hockey brings excitement, intensity, passion, often drinking. It's like a party with a puck. If you enjoy too many shots at the bar while watching slap shots on the ice, don't try to make a breakaway because the police won't just stonewall your goal. They're much more likely to throw you in that penalty box. And it won't be just a few minutes to think about what you did. Go ahead, enjoy cracking one open. Just don't overdo it. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com for your free private consultation. Hockey is one of the only sports where you can wrap around the goal and there's no out of bounds. But the roadway is a different story. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
KIRO FM and HD1.